I mean, absolutely massive. And here they sit, the day before the deadline, 2 games out of a playoff spot. That's it. Just 2 games out. Haven't lost 3 games in a row in 2 months. All eyes are on you, Ben Cherington, and we start right there. In 15 seconds, bang!
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey Sports Station, live from the ShorkeyMitsubishi.com studios. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
A playoff spot, and if you lose 3 games for the first time in 2 months, I think Ben Cherington, with all those things I just stated, could have easily said, you know what, screw it, we'll go on to next year. I'm not buying. I'm just going to stand pat. I'm not going to sell, but let's just see if this team can pull itself up from the bootstraps, but I'm not going to pour any resources into this thing. I don't think you can overstate how important that win was yesterday, and my God, it was such an improbable victory.
The way that they came back, and it was a low-scoring game, and then Mitch Keller gets pulled at one point in the game, and I'm like, all right, what are they going to do? Then everything from that point on was very odd. Things that we could have never predicted, things that we never thought was capable of Derek Shelton to even do. I mean, you put Bednar
In the eighth,
right?
Hell of a move.
Then you put Chapman in, and then you put Holderman in, obviously, to close it out, and that was just, you're holding your breath the whole time. But, to go through everything, Grandal having to go to first, Joey Bart pinch hitting, Tellez pinch hitting, Triolo going to right field, and that all panning out. That was the first game, at least this year, maybe even last year, maybe in his career, that Derek Shelton managed his you-know-what off. I will give him that credit. And it panned out. Because if it didn't pan out, we'd be sitting there like, what the hell are we doing?
This is so lame, but this is so me. I had an outfit picked out for today's show, and then I changed it because of the outcome of that game. I thought today's a good day for the Skeens jersey. Obviously, Skeens is on the bump. I wasn't going to wear it if they lost 3 straight and they hadn't made a trade. I was pissed. Everyone was pissed. It looked like they were going to lose that game, and probably nothing happens at the deadline. Honestly, you don't want to let one game affect everything, but I think one game could have affected everything. I was going to walk up in here with a shirt on with a pocket and my Dub V hat. It's all right, Steelers season. It's football season.
Yep.
We're moving on. They're going to move on. Thanks, Pirates, for getting us through. And you're right, man. Derek Shelton managed his backside off. And, of course, Triolo makes the diving catch. And then there's a double that turns into a triple because he misplaced the ball in right field because, of course, the ball's going to find him.
Right.
The ball seemed to find Grandal a couple of times, too. He made a couple of very nice plays. And you got to give credit to Mitch Keller, too.
Yes.
Mitch Keller needed to be the stopper, and Mitch Keller was the stopper. The Pirates seem to win games. They're 12 games over 500 when Mitch Keller and Paul Skeens start, and they are significantly under 500 when anybody else starts. That's why you got to get this team help.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely have to get this team help. But in all that nutso stuff that happened at the end of the game, I don't want to forget to mention that Mitch Keller was really, really good.
Very good.
And you needed him to be. I don't think it's a stretch to say that that was the most important win of the season. It was the most improbable win of the season, the way the game was going. And if it didn't happen, I shudder the thought of what would be going on today. So you can give us a text brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a personal injury law firm where they always say there's never a fee unless we get money for you. You can tweet us, brought to you by South Hills Kia in Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net. And the Fan Morning Show is brought to you by Guardian Protection. Now, all of Pirates Nation turns their eyes to Ben Cherington. And Ben Cherington said this on his radio show yesterday.
Every year at this time of year, you have to be clear about what your prices are. You have to be clear about what makes sense, what's the value you're willing to give up for certain things. And you have to be comfortable saying no and have to be comfortable that the possible outcome of saying no is not getting to a deal.
How's that make you feel when you hear that from Ben Cherington?
Well, it makes me feel that he feels that he has the upper hand, and not in a good sense, because you have to be comfortable saying no, but saying no to who? Like, saying no to what? Like, why do you dictate saying no? And like, and I'm going to talk out of both sides right now, because he needs to be able to dictate. He needs to be able to be aggressive. He needs to be able to tell teams what he wants. But if there's something that's on the table that's very significant, how can you sit there and turn it down whenever you know you need to add, whenever you're in crunch time and things are moving so fast and guys are flying off the board? Like, I don't know if you have time to say no. You have to make the right deal. And if it was the right deal and you didn't feel like it was right, but if it was for a significant player, how can you say no to that? Now, I'm getting like detailed with that, but you have to be able to do both sides. You have to be able to dictate, but also understand we need something.
Yes.
And we need to act in a fast manner to get this done, because there is only one day-ish until this is all over.
Yes.
You have to move.
The Padres have been hot. The Mets, they lost their last 2. They were super stinking hot. You got to act.
Yes.
You got to act. And to your point, does Cherington think that you're going to get players in here without having to give something up? You're going to have to make it worth the other team's while. You're going to have to part with something that you probably don't want to have to part with. That's how this works. You're going to have a prospect that I'm sure you really like. I'm sure he's in love with a lot of his prospects. He brought them in.
Yes.
But you're going to have to get rid of one of those guys or multiple of those guys if you're going to bring in a player that can help this year's team. And how many of the players that have been dealt so far, the Jazz Chisholms of the world, the Isaac Paredes of the world, the Randy Arozarenias of the world, are not just 2024 solutions, but also 2025 and beyond solutions. Brent Rooker, we've really wanted to see in a Pirates uniform for a long time. You would have him for 3.5 years. It's not like you're mortgaging any portion of the future for rental players.
Right.
How many rentals that aren't relievers have we seen get dealt so far? None that I had linked to the Pirates. None that Jim Bowden had linked to the Pirates or Rosenthal or any of these insiders. Jeff Passan. Nobody that we thought the Pirates were in on that was a rental has been moved. So you'd be giving up a prospect or prospects to have players under team control. So even if you're not that big of a believer in this year's team, and maybe Ben Cherington really is not that big of a believer in this year's team, you're going to need to make additions before next year starts. So why wouldn't you try to do it now? And I'm wondering, I think we have to kind of walk a tightrope today in how much we want to crush Ben Cherington and also understand that the deadline is not until tomorrow afternoon.
Right. Like I'm a proponent of waiting until the last minute before I assess everything. But there's only one word that comes to mind whenever we're sitting here at 6:10 a.m. and we know that every minute that goes by is a minute that the Pirates are losing out, is sacrifice. Like, that's the job. You got to sacrifice to get. You have to, or you're not going to get. And like I said, and you're right. We got to toe the line, and we got to make sure that we have everything aligned, that, what could possibly happen or what can't happen or what won't happen. But at the same time, how many guys are left?
That's where I am too. To where I'm going to wait before I totally go scorched earth on the guy.
Yeah.
But Jazz friggin' Chisholm would have looked really good in a Pirates uniform. And the package the Yankees gave up to get him, the Pirates absolutely could have made that trade.
Yes.
Seattle has been super aggressive. They're very similar to the Pirates. I look at them kind of as the AL Pirates. Can't hit, and they pitch outstanding. They go out and they get Randy Arozarena, who has really been hot of late.
They were the first team to do it, too.
Yep. And someone had to be first.
They wouldn't act.
Yes.
They acted.
We talked about that on Wednesday last week. Someone's got to make the first trade.
Yep.
It's okay if it's you, Ben Cherington. So that's where I am on all this. I would have liked Randy Arozarena, who's got an OPS over 1,000 in the playoffs. You don't think a guy like that helps out? I would have loved Jazz Chisholm. I would have loved the guy that Washington wound up trading. And there's a lot of guys that I feel like the Pirates had the prospect depth to be able to get and not have to give up your biggest prospects, and they didn't. So I'm mad about those things while understanding that there's still time to act. But Ben, you better freaking act, because if you don't, this radio station is going to destroy you on Wednesday. And we will be well within our rights to do so because you are 2 games out of a playoff spot. You got 50-some games to go, and you are 2 games out of a playoff spot. It is a sprint, and you got as good of a chance as anybody if you make moves. The Cubs made a move. Milwaukee's making moves. Seattle makes moves. The Phillies make moves. The Orioles make moves. The Yankees make moves. All these teams who think they got the shot are making moves. Your turn. Do it, or we're going scorched earth. 412-928-9370. There are still some good trade targets out there. We'll get to that over the course of the show. We'll tell you who maybe the Pirates are targeting. Are we optimistic that Ben Cherington is going to make a deal? When he talked during his radio show yesterday, I did not get a good sense. We'll let you hear some of that when we come back. We want your reaction all morning long at 412-928-9370 on the Fan Hotline, presented by Sullivan Super Service, Pittsburgh trusted plumbing and HVAC provider for over 50 years. Right now, it's a Nicholas Harry Callis Fan Headline.
Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville, now open.
Pirates won yesterday against the Arizona Diamondbacks 6-5 in 10 innings in one of the more exciting 9th and 10th innings you'll see in a baseball game, but they lost the series 2 games out of 3. Their next opponent will be the Houston Astros. And Russell Wilson missed week 1 of training camp. Justin Fields got the majority of those reps, and all eyeballs are on him right now going into week 2. For more Fan Headlines, go to 937thefan.com. And now, here's Doran.
I'm pumped the NFL extended their mandate of Guardian caps and are now allowing Guardian caps to be worn in games. Not only do Guardian caps help reduce the impact of hits to the head, but they preserve our helmets to keep our players fresh for game day. All July, enter your team on the 93.7 The Fan contest page because 5 lucky teams will win a set of 10 Guardian caps for the upcoming football season. So do what I do. Have your team practice like the pros with Guardian caps. To learn more about Guardian's technology and get bulk team pricing, visit GuardianSports.com.
Hey, people are talking about Window Nation, and a lot of people are talking about Window Nation. Just Kate from Pittsburgh, that's one person. She said, we couldn't be happier with our new replacement windows from Window Nation. And that's just one person. There are a lot. Window Nation is about value, and this August, they're giving you a great value during their anniversary sale. Colin Dunlap here to tell you all about it. So you buy 2 windows, and you get 2 for free. But that's not all. There's no limit to how much you could save. There's no minimum, no maximum on this. Plus, you pay nothing for 24 months. You know what 24 months is, right? It's 2 full years. Act right now and get as much as a $250 extra credit. But hurry now. This sale ends August 31st. So schedule fast right now that in-home estimate. 866-90-NATION. That's the number. It's 866-90-NATION. Or check out the website right now, windownation.com.
Drinks with a view? I have the place for you. The Steel Mill Saloon in Mount Washington. Delicious premium cocktails and that beautiful Pittsburgh skyline. Meet me there. The Steel Mill Saloon across from the Duquesne Incline in Mount Washington.
Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event is at South Hills Lincoln. Purchase a 24 Lincoln Navigator and pay no interest. That's right, 0% financing for 60 months on all new 2024 Navigators. South Hills Lincoln has over 30 Lincoln Navigators in stock. Test drive the Lincoln of your dreams during the Lincoln Summer Sales Event at South Hills Lincoln, Route 19, just 3 miles south of South Hills Village. Online at southhillslincolnofpittsburgh.com. 0% with approved financing through Lincoln AFS.
I'm attorney Ed Shenderovich. Have you been injured at work? You may have more than one claim. To find out if you do, call us at 888-98-TWINS for a free consultation. At Shenderovich and Fishman, we've got your back, not your wallet.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Hey everyone, Boomer Esiason here. Superchargers, headlights, and more. With over 122 million parts, eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Stay on your A game with all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Cloudy with thunderstorms today, the high 87.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices on everything for back to school, even technology. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-895-7664. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-895-7664 now to secure your 1904p $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-895-7664.
Protect your home from water damage and eliminate water woes with Gutter Helmet. GutterHelmet.com.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hard work pros they serve. Hey, today's birthday shout out goes to Dak Prescott. With no trade and no tag clauses in his expiring contract, the 31-year-old quarterback holds all the leverage. However, Jerry Jones refuses to say Dak is worth more than Green Bay's Jordan Love. There's something wrong in this world. I'm Boomer Esiason.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Monday morning rush, waking up. This report brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com. The Cordell and Cordell traffic cam showing heavier traffic now on the inbound side of the Parkway East between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Of course, don't forget the closure of the ramp from the inbound side to Wilkinsburg could make traffic a little bit heavier there. Parkway West, you are mainly steady into the Fort Pitt tunnels. No problems on Route 28 or the Parkway North where the HOV lanes are open. From the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, I'm Greg McAtee on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180. How many birdies can you uncover? Awaken180weightloss.com.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills.
We have had opportunities the last several days where we could have done something. We had, offers or a price we could have said yes to, and we chose not to. And there have also been things that we've pursued and made offers on that, and we've gotten a no from another team. So we're just in the middle of that negotiation. Nothing that fell through. We just haven't found the match or matches yet that we feel make sense. So we'll stay at it.
Yeah, you better stay at it, Ben. Ben Charrington, yesterday right here on 93.7 The Fan. It was reported by many that the Pirates were in on Jazz Chisholm, and then there was the tweet sent out that was heard around the world that basically the Pirates finished in second place for Jazz Chisholm. And that kind of thing really annoys Pirates fans. Mm-hmm. And it should, because there are a few different ways this all could have gone down. One, hey, we really weren't in on Jazz. Not really, but put it out there that we were in second so that Pirates fans feel like we're actually doing something. That could have been one way.
Yeah.
Another way could have been the Yankees gave up a big-time catching prospect for Jazz Chisholm, who was their 20th ranked prospect coming into the year and then has really played well this year. So now he's their third ranked, or was their third ranked prospect. So it could be that Tampa valued him more than they would value a Henry Davis, or it could be that Ben Cherington was unwilling to include Henry Davis in a deal for Jazz Chisholm. And all three of those things annoy me. If they're just putting out there we were close, that's just total manipulation and a PR stunt. If the Yankees the Rays preferred the Yankees catching prospect
Marlins
over, or excuse me, thank you. I said that a couple
I get them mixed up too. I did that yesterday.
Oh, those stupid Florida teams.
Three times I did it yesterday. Same thing.
Pardon me, yes. The Marlins. If they preferred the Yankees catching prospect, that makes me feel very bad because Henry Davis, he's not somebody that is wanted then by teams. And if it's the option number 3 that I threw out there, that they wouldn't offer Henry Davis, that I would not understand. Because you have Joey Bart right now, who's really performing well and had the huge game-tying hit yesterday. You've got Andy Rodriguez coming back next year. You do not need Henry Davis.
Right.
So any one of those three really irritates me because I feel like Jazz Chisholm could be in a Pirates uniform and could have been manning center field for them yesterday.
I mean, think about the opposite, and think about, say, one of the theories is, just say that we were second in the bidding for Jazz Chisholm, but say that they were first and they beat out the Yankees. Like, that's very significant alongside of getting the player that could actually help your club. Like, if you look at the headline and it says Pirates trade for Jazz Chisholm, but in close second was the New York Yankees, perception of that,
you'd feel good.
it would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't. And it says that you were second. Second isn't first. Second isn't getting the guy. And now you're back to the drawing board. Now you are counting down the time until you have to actually make a move. But if it was close, how are you in a position to say no?
Correct.
That's my thing. Like, going back to the first segment, like, whatever they wanted for Jazz Chisholm, and it was in the realm, like, of a real possibility, like not a Skeens or something, right?
Right.
I think you have to make that move.
One more prospect to push it over the
yes.
finish line?
Yes.
Yes. For a center fielder who's under team control for a few years now, who's not breaking the bank, he was the probably ideal player that the Pirates should have acquired.
Mm-hmm.
Because you go into next season now and beyond, they don't have any center fielder. They've got a gaping hole. It's something they're going to have to deal with this offseason. I've looked at the free agent pool for center fielders. There's not a lot of good ones. They just sent Jack Sawinski down to AAA. So they had been saying for a long time, the way we're going to improve, first and foremost, is internal improvement. And like the poster child for that was Jack Sawinski. Well, now they've given up on him for this year. I mean, he was supposed to be one of your outfielders, maybe your center fielder of the future, and they punted him now down to AAA. So Jazz Chisholm was the perfect fit. And again, the haul that the Yankees gave the Marlins to get him was not one where I went, oh boy, the Pirates could not
compete with that.
Like, we're not talking about Ashcraft, we're not talking about Bubba Chandler, we're not talking about Salameda, we're not talking about Tamar Johnson. You're not talking about any of those guys. And you could have gotten it done, perhaps, if you had thrown a sweetener in there. That's the kind of thing that just makes you crazy. And then Randy Arozarena, same thing. You're not looking at this massive prospect haul going back, this time to Tampa, where you go, oh, the Pirates never could have done that. The Pirates could have done that. And that's what drives you nuts. There's still time before the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
There's still time. But a couple of big-time players could have been had for not a big-time cost. And it just makes you wonder if Ben Cherington is valuing his prospects a little too much. And you're not in a position where you should be doing that. 412-928-9370. I saw out of the corner of my eye that Callis he's like in the bullpen. Like he's warming up. He's ready to go. You got takes?
I do have a take.
Hit me.
So what annoys me about the Yankees trading for Chisholm as well is that the last couple big deals that the Yankees and Marlins have made, those prospects really haven't worked out for the Marlins. I feel like another team would have intrigued the Marlins better if one more could have been tacked on.
Well,
like
that's
that.
what freaks me out.
Name me a player from the Giancarlo Stanton trade in 2017.
Well, right.
You really can't.
So that's what kind of irks me here was Henry Davis not made available? And if he was made available, for the Yankees to say, no, we're going to go with the other guy, that's frustrating to me.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Worrisome.
Yeah. Or, excuse me, the Marlins to say, we're going to go with the other guy, that's big time worrisome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way I can cut that up and feel good about it at all. It's either, PR, tell them we were close. Hey, go report we were close, John Heyman. It's either that, it's either they didn't want Henry Davis, or you wouldn't offer Henry Davis. And none of those things make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Because I thought Henry Davis could be an attractive trade chip. And if they said, no, we elect to go with this Yankees catcher, boy, is that bad. Because now, you're going to be stuck with Henry Davis? Because I'm not feeling good about him as the catcher of the future. I think that's Joey Barton and Andy Rodriguez.
No doubt.
Is he the designated hitter of the future? Well, we've seen him come up to the big leagues and not be able to hit worth a lick. Like, is he the first baseman of the future? I don't know. We've seen him come up here and not be able to hit worth a lick. All right, one other thing I thought about yesterday watching yesterday's Pirates game. Jared Triolo plays right field. Yasmani Grandal plays first base. And yet, what have we heard from people about the Pirates' interest in Brent Rooker? Oh, we don't want to see the Pirates get him. The Pirates don't look at him as an outfielder. Okay, Jared Triolo just played the outfield.
Yeah.
Henry Davis played the outfield for them last year and was a bum. He was terrible in the outfield. Jack Sawinski is terrible in the outfield. We have seen them throw bad outfielders out there. None of them are MVP candidates who have a 950 OPS. So I'm just saying, If that's the reason why they're not, quote unquote, interested in Brent Rooker,
I really hope not.
It's ridiculous.
I really hope that that's not the reason. Like, come on.
Now, I could see the asking price on Rooker being really, really high. He's the best bat available. And if you wind up balking at an asking price because they would need, the A's would, Termarr Johnson, Bubba Chandler, Anthony Solometo, all in a nice, neat little package, okay, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's, we don't want to pursue him because he's a DH.
Yeah, no, I really don't. I really hope not, but I really don't think that should be the case.
No, that would be ridiculous.
I really hope not.
I hate the consensus in Pittsburgh, though, too, because Dora and I were talking about this while you were out, and people were reacting to us acting as if we didn't know we were talking about. They don't think that he can play the field, and I don't understand why.
He's played 150 games in the outfield in his career, so he's done it.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Trillo had only played outfield, by the way, in Double-A, and I realize it's just a few innings, so it's not an apples-to-apples comparison, but the way I look at Rooker is, okay, it's not ideal. The bat's ideal. The fielding not ideal. Stick him in right freaking field for 50 games and live with the bad defense, and then you've got him for 3 years. He's your DH the next 3 years.
Yes.
You live with the short-term lumps. Maybe he impresses you. And maybe you say, okay, we'll sign up for another year of Andrew McCutchen. But if he's terrible in the outfield, he could be your DH for the next 3 years. And the guy's hitting home runs every stinking night. He's like 5th in Major League Baseball in RBIs. He's one of the top 10 guys in OPS. He can't play the outfield. Come on.
I think it's more about money with him.
But he's not expensive. He's $775,000. Now, in arbitration, he's going to be due for a nice raise, but he's not going to break the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to get into that coming up at 7 o'clock. And give us a lot of time on this. Because I've been tweeting every day, Ben Cherington make a trade, and I've been posted the same picture, and people are going, it's not him, it's Nutting. It's probably a little column A, column B. We'll get into that coming up at 7 o'clock. We'll hear more from Ben Cherington, what he had to say on yesterday's radio program coming up next. First, though, it's a Nicholas Harry Callis fan headline.
Now, fan headlines, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville, now open.
Pirates won yesterday against the Arizona Diamondbacks 6-5 in extra innings, but the Pirates lost 2 of 3 games in that series. Now they're going to Houston. They're going to start a 3-game series with the Astros in their last 3 games on this road trip. Game time tonight is at 8:10. If you want to listen, you can right here on 93.7 The Fan. It's going to be Paul Skeens going for the Pirates against Jake Bloss of the Astros. For more fan headlines, go to 937thefan.com.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Homeowners, if your home needs a new roof, call a Platinum Preferred Roofing Contractor. Owens Corning only selects the best 1% of all its dealers, and JP Roofing and Siding has earned that honor. They've accomplished this through hard work and customer satisfaction and offer the best warranty in the business. Homeowners receive $500 off any roof or siding installation. Ask about 100% financing, no payments for 18 months, and free estimates. All that, JP Roofing and Siding. Give them a call at 412-829-7711. That's 829-7711.
Weekends are for the warriors of home projects. 84 Lumber has 14 Pittsburgh locations that are open on Saturdays to keep you on track and get you the supplies you need. Each member of 84 Lumber's expert team is experienced in building materials of all kinds, and they are ready to answer your home improvement questions to get the job done right. If you're looking for the hometown personalized service of a family-owned company, 84 Lumber is your go-to supplier. Visit 84lumber.com to find your nearest store and get started on your project today.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey. That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick. What's going on? Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop. But this is a jewelry store. Exactly. But the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct. But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too. Yeah? We have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry, it's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, he'd look like me?
Go where everyone goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Proud partner of the University of Pittsburgh Panthers.
As school messes return, rest easy. Clorox has got your back to school.
Oh, no. I'm back. That messy science experiment. And I brought baking soda, cornstarch.
And you're due tomorrow, right? Well, at least I stocked up on Clorox disinfecting wipes, because you're not messing up my kitchen counters like last time.
Ooh, smart. Got any food coloring?
And off to the store we go.
Stock up on Clorox disinfecting wipes that clean 3 times better than wet paper towels on kitchen grease and soap scum. Use as directed.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Gotta change my oil.
How about Valvoline Restore and Protect? It restores and protects your engine to run like new.
Get in zone.
It restores your engine to like factory clean?
And protects.
Get in zone.
So Valvoline Restore and Protect restores and protects.
Now you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for $37.99.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hockey is a passion for fans of the sport, but also for the youth who fall in love with the game. With the ever-increasing cost of participating in hockey, many families face financial challenges. The Assisted Goals Foundation was founded to remove financial barriers and to create lasting growth in the sport for current and future players of all backgrounds and communities. Help the Assisted Goals Foundation make the game of hockey available and accessible to anyone, anywhere, at any time. You too can provide an assist. Donate today at assistedgoals.org.
Back to more of the Fan Morning Show.
In the morning, y'all.
With Doran Dickerson and Adam Crowley.
So let's get rolling.
Presented by Guardian Protection on Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
Yeah, well, I think there's not any single thing that happens that you see show up on trade rumors or, wherever people get their news. There's not any single thing that happens, a trade that happens in baseball that we're not aware of or surprised by, because we're talking to and engaged in all of those deals ourselves. So it's just very unlikely you're going to see any news that is something that we weren't aware was going on. We've been engaged with other teams really for several weeks, certainly the last few days, getting prices. If a deal happens and we're not involved in it just, for whatever reason, it can be more than one reason, it just didn't line up in a way where we felt it made sense for the Pirates.
An interesting answer from Ben Cherington there, because he was asked by Greg Brown on the Ben Cherington show yesterday if the injuries affect the way that you operate around the deadline. And then Cherington goes on for 46 seconds. They're not talking about injuries at all, just talking about how they're involved in every deal, and then the deals that they're not involved in, they at least know are going on. Okay, well, sorry, Ben, but we're going to use your words against you here. Radio. Randy Arozarena gets traded from the Tampa Bay Rays to the Seattle Mariners, a team that I've likened to the Pirates. Great pitching team, can't hit for crap. Randy Arozarena the last couple of months has been super hot. Randy Arozarena, you go back to last year, OPS plus 121, 123 the year before that, 129, 182, 185. So at worst, 21% better than league average. This is a very good player who's got an OPS over 1,000 in the playoffs, who in a run to a World Series hit 10 home runs in 20 games one year. And the Mariners gave up bupkis for him.
Nothing.
The 14th and 15th ranked prospects in their organization, according to Baseball America. So was this one of those deals that Ben Cherington was aware of? The answer is yes, because he said he's aware of every deal.
Mm-hmm.
Was this a deal that they were involved in? Because if they were, how do you not pay that up? How do you not say, okay, we'll give you our 12th or 13th best prospect for Randy freaking Arozarena?
I can't stop thinking about what you said about Rooker, and if there's a possibility where they don't fit, these certain prospects or these certain players don't fit the position of need. Like it's like, oh well, Rooker's a DH. We don't need another DH. We have Andrew McCutchen. Oh, Arozarena, he's a left fielder. We have Ryan Reynolds. Like if that's their train of thought, that worries me big time. And that could possibly be.
It could be, like, especially for Rooker. Well, he's a DH. We just believe he's a DH. With the Arozarena, if you play left field, you can play right field.
Right.
You know? He can't play center, fine. Are they just not willing to meet that asking price? Or in the case of Randy Arozarena, is it the cash? Is that what keeps them from pulling the trigger on a guy like that?
If there's anything, it'd be that, in my opinion. What's his deal?
So he's arbitration the next few years, and this year it's $2.8 million. I'm sorry, I can't believe. I know we want to come down hard on Bob Nutting in these parts, and we'll get into this more full form coming up at 7:00. I just can't see that they would not entertain bringing him in to pay out $2.8 million. Like they penny pinch, but they're not penny pinching to that degree. Right. They're just not. So you're not willing to give up your 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th best prospect to get this guy? And I don't want to be unfair here. I'm just using Ben Cherington's words. We are aware of every deal, and we're involved in a lot of deals, paraphrasing. If you are aware of every deal, and that's the asking price for Randy Arozarena, what are we doing here?
Do you know if they ask, and Callis, you could chime in, do you know if in Major League Baseball they ask the player where they would prefer to be traded?
I don't think so, unless you'd have the no movement clause or something like that.
Okay.
I actually heard an anecdote about Brian Reynolds the other day, and there are certain places that he doesn't want to go. Like he doesn't want to go out west or anything like that. So I think it can get baked into a contract, but I think you're just going to the highest bidder.
But that would make some sense. Like a Arozarena, okay, yeah, I want to go to Seattle. I don't want to go to Pittsburgh. Okay, Jazz Chisholm, I want to go to the Yankees, where my hitting coach is that I had whenever I was first entered the league.
Right.
And it's the Yankees.
Yeah, and Derek Jeter was part owner of the Marlins, and I've revered the guy, and I get to wear A-Rod's number, and it's all fun and games, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, if players had a say, okay, then that throws another wrinkle into all this. I just don't know at the deadline if most guys do. Off-season free agents, yeah, but I would also think this would be a place that would kind of be sexy to come to now with Paul Skeens and the youth of this team.
Craig Bish was telling the PM team a couple weeks ago that he may thrive better here because the expectations are growing, whereas in New York it's intense pressure all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you think about guys like Zach Greinke who couldn't cut it in New York because he had the anxiety issues of which I am empathetic.
Yeah, but okay, guys, like close your eyes and think about it. Oh, would I rather go to the Pittsburgh Pirates or the New York Yankees?
The Yankees, I don't think, are as hot of a ticket as... I mean, it's
not even about that. It's not even about right now. It's just the cachet.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's 100% true.
It's the cachet. I don't care what... I mean, for both sides.
But I don't think it plays into anything at the deadline. Okay. I don't. People are killing me on the text line saying I'm throwing an I into Arozarena's name. I'm not. I just thought there was a tilde on the end.
Tilde.
You know, one of those squiggly lines over the end?
Tilde.
Let me check in on that because people might be right. Do I need to?
You roll the R too in Perez. Martinez. Perez.
There appears not to be a tilde on the end, so I apologize. I mean, just real quick. Whether I say his name right or not doesn't matter. He had 10 homers in 20 postseason games a few years ago. He's got a career OPS plus like 140. And the Seattle Mariners got him for the 14th and 15th best prospects in their minor league system. I could call him Billy Bob Thornton. And I read his stats. And you know the Pirates have a hole in the outfield. And that's what should matter. Shut the hell up. I don't know how to say his name right.
Okay, Adam Crowley.
Thank you.
Crowley.
It's pronounced Crowley. Now, here's a text, and this is a good one. This we will entertain. Are you certain the Pirates' 10 to 15 prospects are anywhere near as highly ranked as other teams' 10 to 15? The other team's players are ranked higher overall. I mean, that could be the case.
Right.
But then that's on Ben Cherington, too.
Right. Offer a higher prospect.
Yes.
Yes.
Offer a prospect then that's comparable, not in terms of the rankings,
right,
but in terms of the value of said prospect. And then there's this. You've been rebuilding for 5 years. Longer than that. He's been here for 5 years. You've been rebuilding for years. If you can't win a war of prospects, then you should not be the GM of the Pittsburgh Pirates after this year, because your prospects need to be good enough to where you can go out and you can get players at the deadline. Arozarena.
There you go.
Kiss my butt. 412-928-9370 is the number. We have another Cherington clip to get to coming up next. But first, it's a Nicholas Harry Callis fan headline.
Now, fan headlines, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville, now open.
Pirates play tonight at 8:10 against the Houston Astros in the first game of 3 in the series. It's a Paul Skeens day. Our coverage on 93.7 The Fan starts with the North Shore Tavern leadoff show hosted by Dan Zangrilli at 7:15. Also, Russell Wilson did not practice in the first week of training camp due to calf soreness. That seems to be because he was pushing a sled in a workout, and that got him hurt. All eyes on Justin Fields going into week 2. For more fun headlines, go to 937thefan.com.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Morning rush, really getting crowded now. This report brought to you by Gutter Helmet, the inbound Parkway West, the Cordell and Cordell traffic cam showing us your delay starting near the top of Green Tree Hill to the Fort Pitt tunnels. Parkway East are starting to get in line at Wilkinsburg down to the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Route 28 remains mainly steady from Harmer to the north side as well as the Parkway North. That's steady from I-79 down to and across the southbound Veterans Bridge and onto the Crosstown. 79 looking good, but remember the construction zone on the northbound side between the Craft and Moon Run interchange and the Neville Island Bridge. From the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, I'm Greg McAtee on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Call Pittsburgh's exclusive Gutter Helmet dealer. Schedule a free gutter assessment and estimate. 888-5HELMET. Before gutter problems arise, protect your home from costly water damage with Gutter Helmet. Enjoy maintenance-free gutters for life. Call 888-5HELMET or visit gutterhelmet.com for a free assessment and estimate. Save up to 35% for a limited time.
Hey, it's Andrew Filipponi. The best place to bet the games this summer is FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sports book, because right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Then you can bet on all your favorite international teams and all your favorite sports, from basketball to badminton and soccer and swimming. FanDuel has it all. So don't miss your chance to score $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Visit FanDuel.com/Andrew to sign up and start betting the games today. Make every moment more with FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of KDKA. 21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now eligible bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
PGT Trucking is fueled by the best drivers in the flatbed industry. This is Pat Bostic. For more than 40 years, PGT Trucking has been driven by the proud professionals. Fueled by the promise of great pay, reliable home time, quality equipment, respect, and family. Take the wheel in your career path and join the proud professionals at PGT, a 2024 Best Fleets to Drive For company. Visit pgttrucking.com. SportsFord.com.
Ahoy, mates! Prepare to embark on a daring voyage to victory with our fearless crew. With our black and gold spirit guiding us, we'll conquer any challenge that comes our way. And just like our indomitable spirit, Pella windows stand as beacons of strength and resilience in every home. Crafted with quality and precision, they're the true champions of durability. Right now, get 10% off your entire project. No payments for 12 months. Proud supporters of Pella quality and the unwavering black and gold spirit. PellaPittsburgh.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The text line
is brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a law firm helping injured people.
This is the Fan Morning Show.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Presented by Guardian Protection on Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
Of course, we're always keeping an open mind. I think our approach going into this deadline has and will continue to be until Tuesday, late Tuesday, to try to find ways to improve the Pirates. And that's not either or, specific to 24 or beyond 24. It's both. We're trying to find ways to improve the team in total and not specific to a specific year. And we're going to continue to do that. And there's nothing that's happened this weekend or, since Friday in Arizona that's shifted it either way.
Ben Cherington on his radio program with Greg Brown yesterday. 50-minute mark on the Fan, brought to you by South Hills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 19 in Peters Township, celebrating 50 years in the South Hills. If the Pirates should make a trade, we will tell you immediately, and then we will spend a lot of time on it. So do hang with us. I will say this, though. Listening to Ben Cherington yesterday, and I sat through the entire thing, didn't exactly give me the warm and fuzzies. I don't really feel all that optimistic that they're going to make a deal. When all the players we've discussed ad nauseum fly off the shelves, for lack of a better way of putting it, and the Pirates didn't get any of them, and you see the prospect costs aren't all that much, it just makes me think that they're not going to do anything.
No.
He didn't inspire any confidence in me yesterday. So what he said there was, the injuries, the 2 losses in a row, because it was before the win last night, didn't shift their mindset. So they didn't all of a sudden become sellers. They didn't all of a sudden become buyers based on what happened that weekend. That's great. I don't think you should let one weekend's games change stuff for you. But yet, I don't know what their plan is. And my read is they just want to protect their farm. They just want to protect their prospects. They don't want to give up anything. That's my read.
And then that's just telling us what they think about the current team, too, and where they're at, and even the current possibility with the landscape of the teams around them and how close everybody is and how down the division is, that they still can't compete with even adding one player. That's that's the message. At least that's being said right now.
Their schedule's really hard and they are banged up. I don't care.
Right.
At worst.
If you are banged up and your schedule's hard,
get reinforcements.
Yeah.
Jinx, hey, you owe me a Coke.
Jeez.
You remember that? You ever did that?
What?
Jinx, you owe me a soda?
No.
Oh. It's because you were cool when you grew up.
Soda. Yeah.
I watched Kim Possible while I was growing up.
Oh,
did you ever watch that Disney Channel?
I know of it. I never watched it.
Was Kim Possible in her 20s? Because if so, was super hot as a cartoon.
I just said I know of it. I never watched it.
Okay, well, Google her.
She's in her 20s?
I hope. If not, then it's creepy what I just did.
Oh, no.
I think she was a teenager.
Oh, well, then forget what I said.
Well, she
had that naked mole rat. She would always say, Jinx, you owe me a soda.
This all depends on whenever it actually debuted. First episode, 2002. Okay.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, I'm old.
Yeah, she'd be our age.
You're at worst going to be, 3 games out of a wild card spot at the trade deadline tomorrow. You play tonight. You don't play till tomorrow evening. You're 2 games back. At worst, you're 3 games back. You need to be buying.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough just to stand pat. It's not. And at what cost? To hoard prospects? You heard Cherington say there, you're looking for improvements for this year's club. You're looking for improvements for next year's club and beyond. Randy Rosarania fit that bill. Jazz Chisholm fit that bill. Isak Paredes, there we go, got that one right. He fit that bill.
It's Arena, yeah.
Whatever.
Rosarania, yeah.
All those guys are not just short-term Band-Aids. Now, if they would trade for like a Kevin Pillar, who all of a sudden has become available from the Los Angeles Angels, he's hitting .287, he's having a really good year. If you got him, that would just be a Band-Aid. That would just be a rental. But if you're so concerned about protecting your future, you don't know what prospects are going to turn into. You think, you hope, you scout, you develop, you have faith in your own process. Look at what this process has gotten the Pirates. 5 guys in the lineup yesterday with OPSs under 600. That's the process. So there's no sure thing that any of these prospects that you hold on to are going to turn into anything.
And there's a huge pool of prospects that they have a lot at that position. Like I don't want that to get lost on us as well. Like they have a lot of pitching prospects. They have pitchers already.
Do you need 9 starting pitchers for next year?
No.
You do not. You have your middle infield of the future set. You've brought this up before. You've got O'Neal Cruz. You've got Nick Gonzalez. And boy, what a loss he's going to be for weeks now. Not just days, for weeks, is what Ben Cherington said yesterday. That's a massive loss. But those are your guys for the future. So Termarr Johnson, he's not going to be up for a couple of years. He's going to play middle infield for you. I'm sorry. You're not going to get him helping your big league club until halfway through the Skeens window. His value is more in trade. So if nothing is done between now and the deadline, we need to riot. Do the Pirates have a better chance of making the postseason than San Diego, than the Mets, than the Cardinals? I would answer probably no, although I don't think the Cardinals are all that great. But just look at the math. You're 2 games out, and you're a couple of bats away from, I think, being really formidable. If the general manager is afraid to trade the 15th, 16th, 17th ranked prospect, that's fireable. It's absolutely fireable. Is it all on him? Or do you put it on the owner as well? 412-928-9370. We'll get to that coming up next, and then a bunch of football stuff to get to. And our training camp coverage on 93.7 The Fan is presented by Smale Kia and brought to you by Guardian Caps and Armstrong Business Solutions. Is it on the owner or the GM? We'll get into that when we come back. But first, fan weather brought to you by Sun Chevrolet. It's the Chevy Summer Drive at Sun Chevrolet, up to $7,500 in rebates. Terms and conditions at sunchevy.com.
Morning. It's a comfortable start this morning with dew points that are in the 50s and temperatures in the 60s. Highs today will only hit the mid-80s. Yesterday we saw the 10th 90-degree day of the month, 15th of the year, so we are cooling down from that. Hey, rain chances return today with just scattered showers around this afternoon. There's a better chance for rain coming on Tuesday and on Thursday this week. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ron Smiley in the KDK Weather Center.
Your hometown building partner since 1956, 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
The best place to bet the games this summer is FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sports book, because right now new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Then you can bet on all your favorite international teams and all your favorite sports, from basketball to badminton and soccer to swimming. FanDuel has it all, so don't miss your chance to score $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/Starkey to sign up and start betting the games today. I might start with badminton. I would probably have to do a little research on that, but it's up to you at FanDuel.com/Starkey to sign up and start betting the games today. Make every moment more with FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of KDKA. 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh yeah, the key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text HOT to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text HOT to 321-321. That's HOT to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
The month of July is National Carpet Cleaning Month. It's also the month of the 4th, and Zero Res, they're celebrating by offering 3-room Zero Resified starting at just $129 and giving you a 4th room free. Carpet, tile, rugs, upholstery, basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified, so it's time to call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Get the pros in there. Perfect time of year to get your air ducts cleaned as well. $75 off right now on air duct cleaning. Help alleviate allergies, asthma, less dust, lower energy bills, and your home stays cleaner longer. Don't forget about dryer vents, too. We've had all of it done by Zero Res before, and it legitimately changes the feeling of your home. Everything feels cleaner once Zero Res has been in there. Like I said, leave it to the pros. You don't want to deep clean yourself with those nasty, dirt-attracting, carpet-soaking, do-it-yourself machines. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResPGH.com or give them a call, 412-701-1188, and ask for the 93.7 The Fan special. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
An official message from Medicare.
A new law is helping me save more money on prescription drug costs. You may be able to save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is $0 and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $23,000 a year or married couples who make less than $31,000 a year. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Dunkin' dropped a new kind of energy, introducing Sparked Energy by Dunkin'. Available in Berry Burst and Peach Sunshine. Order ahead on the Dunkin' app and get a medium Sparked Energy for $3 in July. Fruit flavored. Contains 0% fruit juice. Caffeine from caffeine and guarana. Participation may vary. Limited terms apply.
Hey, Pittsburgh homeowners. To build for looks and durability, side your home with LP SmartSide Expert Finish Trim and Siding. Now available in brushed smooth texture. Available in 16 versatile colors. Expert Finish products will help you create a gorgeous, longer-lasting dream home. That's the beauty of brushed smooth. Learn more about LP SmartSide Expert Finish products in brushed smooth texture at lpcorp.com/Steel City. That's lpcorp.com/Steel City.
Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, and now open in Morgantown.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Are you passionate about youth hockey but facing financial barriers? The Assisted Goals Foundation helps to provide funds for those who need it. We believe that every player deserves a shot at their dreams, regardless of financial circumstances. Scholarship applications are now open through the Assisted Goals Foundation. Don't let costs keep your child from hitting the ice. Visit our website, assistedgoals.org, to learn more and apply today. Together, we can break down the barriers and keep the love of hockey alive. Not in need, but love the sport and want to pay it forward? You can also donate online at assistedgoals.org today.
93.7 The Fan. Built by Window Nation. Call 866-90Nation.
Tell them Colin Dunlap sent you.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Cordell and Cordell traffic cam on the Parkway East showing traffic getting in line just past the Wilkinsburg on-ramp down to the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Still a little bit of heavy traffic as you pass that now closed Wilkinsburg off-ramp. Parkway West, you're jammed near the top of Green Tree Hill. Route 28, steady for the most part, a little heavy exiting off at East Ohio Street. No problems on the Parkway North. From the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA, I'm Greg McAtee on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey Sports Station, live from the ShorkeyMitsubishi.com studios. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
93.7 The Fan.
Taking you back to the Fan Morning Show. Doran Dickerson and Adam Crowley. Come on now, wake up. Presented by Guardian Protection. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
7:04, brought to you by Gina Giampetro of Remax Select Realty. And the Fan Morning Show is brought to you by Guardian Protection. It's the day before Major League Baseball's trade deadline, and a lot of players have moved. The Pirates, well, they've been quiet. Is Ben Cherington sitting on his hands, or is Ben Cherington, is he ready to pounce? We'll find out. But so far, no good, and Pirates fans are frustrated. But I posted a picture on Twitter.com, @_Adam Crowley, and you can follow us on Twitter, brought to you by South Hills Kia in Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net, of Ben Cherington, and I said, please make a trade, Ben. And a bunch of the comments weren't critical of Ben Cherington. They were critical of Bob Nutting. Oh, Nutting won't let Cherington make a trade. Nutting's not going to let this team add payroll. And while I do think there's a lot of room to criticize Pirates ownership, I don't think it's fair to do it now. I think most of this is on Ben Cherington. And the reason I think that is because we saw Neil Huntington make deadline moves. He made the Chris Archer move. He got Marlon Byrd. He got Justin Morneau. He got J-Happ. He got Ludwig. He got Derek Lee. He got Wandy Rodriguez. Anytime that the Pirates were contenders from 11 until 15, he was going out and making moves. You know who the owner was then? Still Bob Nutting. So I put this on Ben Cherington because a lot of people seem to think, well, he's not going to be able to add salary. Well, Jesse Winker cost $991,000.
Right.
He's not expensive.
Right.
Randy Arozarena, or Arena, not expensive.
Right. Rooker, as you just said.
Not expensive at all.
Jazz Chisholm.
Not expensive.
That's where I'm at.
Right?
Yes. Is that you rattled off in the last hour the salaries of these players, and I think the highest was maybe $2.8 million.
Yeah.
That's doable. I don't care. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care what your budget is. I don't care if you don't see eye to eye with ownership. The ownership is not giving you the right pool to kind of pull from financially. But that is doable in professional sports. And that's doable, I think, for the Pirates. I could see if it was the $20 million. If it was the Luis Roberts,
yes.
you would balk at that. But the 2.8, you could make something happen. And that's the job of being the general manager, is to get creative with what you do have to work with. And don't sit here and tell us that you don't have to work with, you don't have $3 million to work with.
Right. And
you do.
And if let's just say you don't. I think you do. But let's just say you don't. Okay, have you seen what some of these relievers are going for? I don't love the idea, but I think if you got rid of an Aroldis Chapman and his prorated $10.5 million, so you get some salary off the books, so you can add a $2.8 million player, okay, now you're actually saving money.
Mm-hmm.
And you could trade Aroldis Chapman if you wanted to. I don't want them to. I just want them to add $2.8 million in salary. I think that that's doable. I think the problem we got going on here isn't that the Pirates don't want to spend incrementally more money at the deadline. I think it's that Ben Cherington is balking at giving up any prospects that he values.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the issue. And I think Ben Cherington's now been an issue for a while. And I'm not going to full on set the guy on fire until tomorrow evening if he hasn't made a trade. But just think about this lineup that they threw out yesterday. And some people want to put it all on the owner. Connor Joe, in year 5 of a general manager, is batting third. You got Josh Palacios, Michael A. Taylor, Jared Triolo, G1 Bay, Yasmani Grandal. Those are the guys, and God bless them for getting the win yesterday. And all those guys had their hand in the victory.
Yeah.
Alika Williams, that's your lineup? You had 2 good hitters in your lineup yesterday. In year 5, that can't all be on the owner.
No.
I'm sorry. It just can't. Especially not when the last general manager pushed a lot of buttons at or around the deadline. Like, people want to conveniently leave that out of Pirates history. They want to talk about when Neil Walker got shipped out of town and how frustrating that was and how the team was dismantled out of 2015. Those things happened. That was real. But just as real were the Wandy Rodriguez deals and all the other ones that I detailed earlier. At the deadline, the Pirates have been fairly active when they've been in contention. Now they're not. It's the same owner.
Mm-hmm.
What's changed?
Mm-hmm.
The general manager. Now, maybe there's an organizational philosophy deal going on here where they don't think they're as good as maybe they are. Like maybe the front office doesn't believe in this team as much as the fans believe in this team.
But Nutting told us that. I mean, he spoke.
Well, there's that.
I mean,
you're right.
Came from the mouth.
He put his name on our goal as 100% to make the playoffs. You're right about that.
So, what other message what other message needs to be said?
And that makes me feel like it's even more on Cherington.
Right.
Because that's a great pull by you. It's rubber stamped by the owner. And then you see Arozarena goes to Seattle for the 14th and 15th best prospects in their system. Not a cash thing. He has security here. I think Cherington, if he just makes an effort. Based on Bob Nutting's comments, if he doesn't get something done, I would feel like I'm on thin ice. So go do it. Like, what's the problem in going and trying? And one of your prospects goes off and performs well for the Marlins or for Tampa or for the A's or for Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So what? Go for it. I don't think this town, and I'm speaking as a Pirates fan wearing a Paul Skeens jersey right now, I don't think this town needs a trade that works. Sad as that is to admit, I think we just need a trade or two.
An attempt.
Yes.
Yes.
Just try. My mom was never mad at me if I brought home C's if she saw that I was staying up doing my homework. It was the C's that I got whenever I was slacking off that would piss her off. Just put forth an effort. And right now, it's looking like when you get the 14th and 15th best prospects, like I know I keep harping on this, to Seattle, to Tampa for Arozarena, it feels like the full, honest-to-gosh effort isn't being put in here. It's frustrating. Very frustrating. And I knew this was going to happen. Here's a text. You guys are sounding like company shills, covering for a cheap owner, deflecting it onto a handcuffed GM. Like, I don't know how you can argue with the past. When they've been close before, they haven't spent a ton of money, but they've added at the deadline. And now you've got Skeens. You've got Keller, who was great again yesterday. You've got one of the best pitching staffs in the National League. And the only thing that's changed is the general manager, and I'm supposed to put it all on the owner? That's the easy way out, man.
Right.
That's lowest common denominator stuff. I'm sure there are other radio stations you turn on today, and it's all going to be the owner. That's not always right. In the offseason, and they don't go out and add a Cody Bellinger or a Rhys Hoskins, or you don't try to get a Shelby Miller at $14 million. You can talk about the owner till the cows come home. I'm down with that. But at the deadline, you're talking about adding $2.65, I think, million bucks it is for Randy Arozarena. Like, that's not, to me, the owner saying, I can't pay that money. It's just not. Because we've seen in the past, they have gone after guys at the deadline. 412-928-9370. I hope they make a deal, because this is it's just nauseating to me. And
you hope. What's your honest feel?
I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it. What are the names that are out there right now? Yandy Diaz or, you're not going to get Luis Robert, because that one I'll meet you on. Like, they're not going to wind up paying this guy $20 million a year.
Right.
Like, they're not going to do that. And if you want to crush them for that, okay, fine. That's fine. That's fine, because they could and they probably won't. But who's left? A lot of the players that we had earmarked potentially to Pittsburgh, like the Jazz Chisholms of the world, they all got dealt, and they all got dealt for relative penance. So, I don't feel good. Do you feel good?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Could have acted on this a lot sooner, before crunch time. Could have got in front of everything, and they didn't.
That's the other thing.
They definitely could have got in front of everything.
Arozarena's played 2 games. Puck comes in and pitches in 2 games in this series, because Arizona's been active at the deadline. He struck out the side yesterday. You've got players that have already been able to help these teams in the race. 2 games of Arozarena, maybe you win the series in Arizona. You're probably not winning game 2, but you had a 3-0 lead, and how many opportunities? I think 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position in game 1. You lose by 1 run. What if you have Arozarena for that game with no Brian Reynolds, with Rowdy Tellez getting hurt? You probably need 1 more bat. You could win that game. And so not only have you not acted, and it looks like you're probably not going to act, but you could have already helped your team win a series, and maybe you're 1 game back of a playoff spot right now. It's all very frustrating. More on this as we go forward in the show. Neil Walker is going to join us at 9 o'clock. We've got Dan Zangrilli at 9:35. Are you optimistic or are you pessimistic about Ben Cherington making a trade here? And do you put it more on Ben Cherington or Bob Nutting? 412-928-9370. You can also text us, brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a personal injury law firm where they always say there's never a fee unless we get money for you. Ton of football on today's show as well. The Russ Wilson injury, it tells us something. And it might not be what you think. We'll get into that coming up next. But first, it's a Callis fan headline.
Now, fan headlines, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville. Now open.
Pirates and Astros. They're starting a 3-game series tonight in Houston, the final 3 games of this road trip for the Pirates. If you want to listen to the game, you can right here on 93.7 The Fan. Our coverage begins at 7:15, and that coverage is presented by Pella Windows. It's a Paul Skeens day. Paul Skeens going to pitch for the Pirates. Jake Bloss on the mound for the Astros. For more fan headlines, go to 937thefan.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-285-3636. 800-285-3636.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Download the Par-Mar Rewards app today for some big gas and grocery savings. Dan Zangrili here to tell you that loyalty has its rewards at Par-Mar stores. Remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
You've inherited your uncle's giant house and every weird thing in it. We can help with that. 2 men and a junk truck.com. 2 men and a junk truck.
Tired of the same old beer? Try Stone Buenaventura, imported all the way from San Diego. Stone Buenaventura is a Baja-inspired Mexican-style lager made with just a touch of sea salt and real lime. Stone Buenaventura is ultra crisp, easy drinking, and perfectly refreshing. Everything a lager should be. In the native tongue of the San Diegoans, Buenaventura means good beer. Stone Buenaventura is available wherever good beer is sold. Ask for it by name. Buenaventura. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
When you buy a new house, you might say,
"Shut the front door."
Winning!
No, seriously, shut the front door. We own this house now.
But you actually need to say,
"Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there."
That's right. The local State Farm agent is there to help you choose the coverage you need.
Welcome to my crib. No one says that anymore, but I don't care.
So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. NA member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
Protect your home from water damage and eliminate water woes with Gutter Helmet. GutterHelmet.com.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Fisher Investments. In the first scandal of the 2024 Paris Olympics, the Canadian women's soccer team was busted for flying a spy drone over New Zealand's closed practice session last week. Reportedly, Canadian women's and men's soccer teams have been engaged in spying on upcoming opponents for years. Bill Belichick did not return our request for comments. I'm Boomer Esiason.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Morning Rush building all around. This report brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com. Traffic a little bit heavy now, according to the Cordell and Cordell traffic cam on Route 28 as you head past the Route 8 at the bypass toward the north side. Heading out of the South Hills, about a 1 to 2 light delay on the northbound side of 51 approaching Nobles Lane. Parkway West, you're jammed right around Parkway Center to the Fort Pitt Tunnels. Parkway East lines up at Edgewood Swissvale. From the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. I'm Greg McAtee on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180. How many birdies can you uncover? Awaken180weightloss.com.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills.
Yeah, we were doing a sled push thing and just got a little tweaked it a little bit. So, just working hard and just sometimes things happen. But the good news is that I feel good, and we'll get there when it's time. And the good thing is I'm getting a lot of the mental reps and throwing stuff on the side and in post practice and all that as well.
If this was a game day, could you go in?
If there's a game, I'm definitely playing.
Okay.
So there you have it. That was Russell Wilson after day 2, talking about his calf injury.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the injury report. It's brought to you by Shenderovich and Fishman. They've got your back, not your wallet. Seems to be that Russell practiced tomorrow. First day of pads. That is the expectation internally. That's my expectation. Is that your read on the situation?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Russ should be back. Now, there have been players that have had minor calf injuries that have turned into bigger calf problems. Victor Cruz, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow. I do think they've been right to take it easy on Russ. Now, according to reports, he's been out at night working out with Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris, which I also like as a leader and just keeping the guy fresh. Dan Graziano of ESPN, he reported this. He said, Fields definitely has work to do to catch Wilson in the race for the starting job, but the Steelers are open-minded about his ability to do so. The important thing to keep in mind here is that the Steelers have no prior connection to either of these quarterbacks and no compelling financial commitment that would lead them to favor one over the other. End quote. I actually think as long as Russ Wilson's calf doesn't explode, that this is the best possible thing for the Steelers. They believe in Russell Wilson as the starting quarterback. He doesn't need to practice without pads.
No.
They feel like what they have in this guy is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw it in minicamp. They saw it in OTAs. This is just an opportunity for Justin Fields to show what he learned and to how he can advance. So I don't think this is a bad thing at all for the Steelers if, of course, it does not get worse for Russ. I also think that this shows you just how much faith they have in Russell as that guy in the pole position. Like, if they really needed to see it out of Russ, they might have pushed him a little bit earlier.
I mean, I said this while you were out. Like, this is probably their ideal situation. They knew that Russ was dealing with an injury after pushing a sled, which we don't really need to talk about, but it's ridiculous that he was pushing a sled.
Oh, you think so?
It was ridiculous. What does he need to push a sled for?
I said that in a combative manner. That's not how I meant that to come out. I meant it to go like this. Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, like sarcastically.
I didn't mean it to sound, oh, you really think so?
I thought you were like asking, like, oh, yes, it's ridiculous that he was pushing a sled during a conditioning drill.
So you do think that was stupid?
Very stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, what does a quarterback need to push a sled for?
I agree. I just didn't know what football guy thought. Because me, not football guy, even though I love football, thought, yeah, that seems pretty dumb.
Very dumb.
Okay.
Very, very dumb. And the crazy thing let's rewind. The crazy thing about it is they fired their strength and conditioning staff to hire a new one that was better and more up to the times. And then this was what happened. So there's that. But I said last week that this is the situation. I think that they almost orchestrated the situation. Like, knowing that Russell Wilson's calf, yes, he is injured, but milking it because, like they've said, they don't need to see that much out of Russell Wilson, but they do need to see a lot out of Justin Fields. This is their actual evaluation time of Justin Fields, and catching him off guard was probably the biggest point of all of this. It's knocking on his door at 6 a.m. if you're Arthur Smith and saying, hey, Russ is dealing with the injury. Here's the ball. Run the offense today. You're the man. And it's like, if you're Justin Fields, you're like, oh, shoot. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I'm going to get every opportunity. He's not just running the plays with the ones. He's not just, going out there and throwing passes and being efficient. He is showing what he is capable of if he would be the future quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can see that stuff right now. We've said it 1,000 times. Do not harp on, do not put too much onus on preseason games with quarterbacks because we got burned last year by Kenny. Don't do that. Yeah. But the little things like this, you can pay attention to. You could definitely pay attention to, and this is exactly what the Steelers probably wanted. Now, they don't want Russell Wilson to be hurt long-term, like you said, Crowley.
But it's an opportunity.
But it is a huge opportunity for them. It's a huge opportunity for Justin Fields, and it is an opportunity for Russell Wilson to kind of sit back and say, do I really need to go out there right now? What do I need to prove?
I like it.
Me too.
I love it, actually, because I don't think they were going to really give Justin Fields all that much of an opportunity.
He wasn't going to get the real opportunity. He's going to get 1 reps. He would, but he's going to get more 2 reps.
Yes.
He's going to get into 1 reps, and it's going to be cut in half. It's not going to be like he's going to be the ones the whole entire practice. They'd split it probably at some point in training camp. Now, there is no question. You are getting every 1 rep with the 1 offensive line, with the 1 running backs, with the 1 tight ends, and with the 1 wide receivers. Figure out how you want to approach this and let everybody get on the same page with you, and let's see how you operate.
Yes.
Let's see it. And from what I've been hearing, not bad.
He's getting better, too, from what you hear.
And that's how camp goes.
Yeah.
You go out there, you're shaky, you got nerves, your anxiety, and it's like, okay, first, and especially if you're him, new team, all this stuff. It's getting better. It's getting better as it goes on, and this is a great situation for the Steelers for somewhat the present, but more for moving on later on in the years.
The injury report brought to you by Shenderovich and Fishman. They've got your back, not your wallet. I don't know that it's exactly how they drew it up, but the second you hear, oh, there's a calf twinge.
Well,
okay, we're not putting you out there.
You're good.
Yep. Not until day 1 contact at the earliest. But you just sit down and you do your thing. You work out on the sideline and maybe do some stuff, throw the ball around in the evening, whatever. But don't get out there. Don't stress it out anymore because let's see what we got here.
Mental reps
in Justin
too.
Fields. It does make me think, though, that Russell Wilson is the clear number 1. The clear number 1. Because if you needed to be shown something by Russ, I think they would not be careful with him. I think it's twofold. I think it's, we believe Russ is going to be good with us. And two, well, this just gives us a chance now to see what Justin Fields can bring to the table.
Well, also, if Russ would have a sense of this, because he's been around a long time, if he felt that it was a true competition, there's no way he'd be sitting. He'd go to trainers and be like, nah, like, I'm good.
There's also that.
He just said that in the interview. Mm-hmm. If we had to play tomorrow, yeah, I'd play.
He has no fear whatsoever he's going to lose his job.
No.
If he did, you're right, he'd play.
Yep. He'd be practicing.
You can tell by what the Steelers are doing here, and you can tell by what Russell Wilson has said in the way that he is operating here, that he is pretty much entrenched. Now, that goes against Graziani's report. I'm sure they are, quote-unquote, open to it.
For sure.
They blow us away. But I think Fields would really have to blow them away. And I also think, you said it already, they have to believe that what happens on these practice fields ain't gospel because of what happened last year with Pickett. So Fields he would have to be so above and beyond their expectation of him. He would have to be so above and beyond what they think Russell Wilson could give them to unseat Russ. That's what all this is telling me right now. I want to talk a little bit about George Pickens when we come back. I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it last week. I think that's a major, major storyline, but maybe not for the reason people believe. So we'll get to that coming up next. We've also got the Golf Rewind with Jeff Hathorn. Right now, though, it's a Nicholas Harry Callis fan headline.
Now, fan headlines, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville, now open.
Pirates lost 2 of 3 over the weekend to the Arizona Diamondbacks, but they won a dramatic game yesterday. They were down to their final out. Joey Bart hit a double, tied the game. Then the Pirates scored 4 in extras, gave up 3 in the bottom of the 10th. They still won, though. And, all good. Now going to play the Houston Astros tonight at 8:10. If you want to listen to the game, you can right here on 93.7. The Fan coverage starts at 7:15. It's the North Shore Tavern leadoff show hosted by Dan Zangrilli. And it's Paul Skeens Day. More fan headlines, go to 937thefan.com.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Proud partner of the University of Pittsburgh Panthers.
We're back with Taylor Fournier at Fournier's Ram of Pittsburgh. Taylor, how goes the customer-centric, customer-centered lot and store transformation?
Bob, both our new and certified pre-owned exclusive outdoor showroom shopping experiences are getting the final touches, and the timing could not be better.
Sounds like you're about to announce some good incentives for this month as well.
How about buy the new Dodge Hornet RT and get 0% for 84 months, 0 down, no payment for 90 days. Couple that with our KBB Instant Cash offer on trades and another Three Rivers exclusive, our free 3RP protection program. They're both fully up and running and together keeping us Pittsburgh's lease leader. And during the Make This the Summer event, lease a new Jeep Grand Cherokee L from just $499 per month.
To experience Jeep of Pittsburgh customer-centric car shopping and get all the details, shop jeepofpittsburgh.com or get to the corner of West Liberty Avenue and Brookline Boulevard and look for the humongous yellow Jeep in the sky.
We are Pittsburgh's Jeep store.
You know 84 Lumber for their lumber yards, but did you know they have an in-house kitchen and bath design studio at their Bridgeville and Mars locations? At 84 Lumber's design studio, the goal is to bring your vision to life by crafting a design that integrates your home with your lifestyle. 84 Lumber is passionate about quality materials and outstanding customer service. Whether you're remodeling or starting fresh, trust 84 Lumber for expert guidance every step of the way for your project. Visit the Bridgeville or Mars locations to meet with an expert designer today or visit 84designstudios.com. Visit 84designstudios.com.
Thinking about getting a home security system? Right now, homeowners can unlock a free security camera from Guardian Protection, Pittsburgh's hometown security company, with the purchase of a monitored security system that Guardian will professionally install at no additional charge. Get 24-hour protection and effortlessly control your home with our app. Visit guardianprotection.com/fan. That's guardianprotection.com/FAN. Limited time offer. New customers only. Terms apply.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 412-228-3584. That's 412-228-3584. Located in Robinson, 412-228-3584.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Don't touch that dial.
It's the Fan Morning Show, presented by Guardian Protection. Let's do this. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Gonna get into George Pickens dust up with Zach Ghazzani, Steelers wide receiver coach, coming up in a few minutes here. First, though, it's the Weekend Golf Rewind with Jeff Hathorn, presented by Lynch Golf Sales at Pine Creek. If you're not being fit outdoors, you're not being fit. Good morning to you, Jeff.
Great name in golf. A great name in golf, Adam. Jonathan Vegas. He birdies 18 to win the PGA event in Minnesota. It's his first win since 2017. He won despite shoulder pain that he called a nightmare. And he said all he did was just avoid a big mistake. And Neil Shipley, he finished 37th at 7 under, 3 straight rounds to end his tournament in the 60s. This week, it's Olympic golf. KJ Choi wins his first senior major, the Senior Open Championship at 10 under. Angel Cabrera was 5th. This week is the Women's Open Championship. The U.S. Senior Women's Open is at Fox Chapel this week, Thursday through Sunday. Tickets are affordable. And what's cool about this event, you can walk with the players down the fairways during the tournament, which is cool. You could kind of get their perspective, what they're saying to their caddies. I mean, you could walk right with them. Today is the Tam O'Shanter Open in West Middlesex. You know, and if you're looking for a new course to play, it's about an hour north of Pittsburgh. John Cairns does a great job. Some fun holes to play there. And you know who I'd buy a round of golf for right now? Joey freaking Bart.
Joey freaking Bart.
Joey Bart.
Right? Or Jared freaking Triolo. They saved the season yesterday. It was so awesome.
Jeff, thank you for the Weekend Golf Rewind. We will talk to you tomorrow. We will talk to you on Thursday. And not to put you on the spot here, but when we do talk to you on Thursday, Will the Pirates have made a move or moves?
Yes.
All right, that does make me feel
optimistic.
better.
I'm staying optimistic, boys. Yesterday got me fired up.
Joey freaking Bart!
Right? Let's go.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, Jeff. Joey Bart?
Joey freaking Bart!
Freaking Bart.
Freaking Bart! That's a hell of a you-know-what missile that he hit.
He crushed it.
He absolutely annihilated that ball. I was so frustrated when big boy Rowdy Tellez hit that double because I thought, hey, this is the Pirates. He's going to get stranded at second. But in just about any other ballpark, including PNC Park, that thing's a home run.
Mm-hmm.
I was prepared to be really, really mad. It's a hell of a victory. And Jeff says it saved the season. We talked about that. But I scream hot takes a lot of the time into the microphone. Jeff he's grounded. He's a reporter. That's why we send him to things like Steelers camp. When he says it saved their season, I buy it. So, speaking of buying, get out there, Ben Cherington, and get the job done. Much more on the Pirates. We've got Neil Walker. We've got Dan Zangrilli at 9 and 9:35, respectively. But we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week together. I know that you were able to address it. But this whole George Pickens, Zach Azzanni thing, where they got into it a little bit, folks saying that George Pickens is a problem, that seems to be my takeaway. Is a lot of people onto social media doing, oh, this George Pickens, he's a jerk, da-da-da-da-da. I love it. I love it. There's a reason why they got a new wide receiver coach. There's a reason why they shipped Deontay Johnson out of town. They did not like the makeup of the room. They did not like the attitude of the room. I like that the Steelers hired a coach that's not going to tiptoe around one of the few star players that this team might have on offense. He gave it right to him. And that was the book on Azzanni coming in, was he's a no-nonsense kind of guy. I love it. Either deal with it, grow up as a man, grow up as a player, or you're not going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler for very long. So I didn't take it as, oh, George Pickens is a bad guy. He got coached hard. He's in the heat of it. It's hot. He's practicing his ass off. And so he gets into it with the coach. It happens all the time. I don't know that it had been happening before in the Steelers locker room. I like it.
Yeah, he's holding him accountable, Azzanni is. And like you said, Azzanni was a no-nonsense guy. And, you know, whenever you're in situations like that and you're George Pickens, you got to realize that Azzanni's trying to get the absolute best out of you. Like, his job is on the line. So whenever you start understanding the dynamics of at least pro football and pro sports and business, nobody is trying to tear you down because their job is on the line. He is trying to get the absolute best out of you. I just was upset last week because I feel like people are searching for reasons to make George Pickens look like a malcontent. And this is not one of those situations. And I even said whenever you were out, I was like, I'm not here for this stuff. I'm not here for headlines of George Pickens and, you know, George Pickens being a bad guy, George Pickens not doing this, George Pickens acting up, George Pickens becoming a cancer in the locker room. Like, nah, that's not one of these situations. And let's stop looking for situations to tear down George Pickens. Now, we'll sit here and we'll critique his game and say that he possibly isn't a number one wide receiver. I'll sit there and say that all day until he proves us wrong. Absolutely. But I am not going to go searching for things that tear George Pickens down whenever there's situations like this of things like this happening all the time.
Yeah, we just saw it with Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. They got into it on the sideline. Aaron Rodgers can be prickly. Garrett Wilson, a young player, that's what happens.
Yes, all the time.
You participated in many a training camp. I sat and stood really, and watched many a training camp. Stuff like this happens all the time. I don't put this in the same bucket, and I look for these things. I don't put this in the same bucket as George Pickens deleting all his Steelers stuff off of social media.
Right.
Or commenting or liking things that people post on social media that denigrates Kenny Pickett. That, to me, is different than this. When you're getting coached, when you're in the heat of it, and it's hot, and you're battling your tail off, it's one of the first days of camp, and you're trying to get your butt in shape, and you wind up yelling at a coach who's yelling at you, happens all the time. And I happen to think that there's a possibility that if he were coached that way last year, that maybe the social media stuff doesn't happen. I don't know. But you coach his ass hard. You get him quality quarterback play. I don't think George Pickens is going to be an issue.
No.
I think it's a necessity. I don't think this is one of those guys that you're hands off on. I think he needs guidance. I think he needs leadership.
All season.
Yep.
from, literally the other day until the last game of the season. And you will get the most out of him. He may not like it at first. He may not like it at times. But at the end of the day, he's going to look back and be like, thank goodness that this is the situation I was in, that this guy and this team got the most out of me, because there's so much untapped potential that George Pickens has. And that's why, like you said, to start this, they brought in a guy like Azzanni to get the most out of George Pickens, to be a number one receiver.
And if he's going to act a fool at some point this year or pops up a couple of different times, I do expect him to get the Deontay Johnson treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he ain't going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not suffering fools like that right now. And he's going to command, if he has a good season, a lot of money, a ton of money. And you don't want to give that to a malcontent. I'm far from selling all my shares on George Pickens because he got into it with a coach. Like, that's just going to happen. It just is. And I think it's the best thing for him. All right, coming up next, 4 members now going to be inducted into the Steelers Hall of Honor. We'll get into that a little bit. We've got Mark Kaboly coming up at 8 o'clock. If the Pirates make a trade, you'll hear about it here first. And all of our trade deadline coverage on The Fan is presented by T-Mobile. Switch to T-Mobile and you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Use their savings calculator to find out how at T-Mobile.com/switch. Right now, it's a Callis Fan headline.
Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville, now open.
Russell Wilson said last week that his calf injury spawned from pushing a sled. So he missed all of training camp last week, week 2, starting this week. Also, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they won yesterday against the Arizona Diamondbacks, lost 2 of 3, though, in that series. Now they're going to go to Houston, and they're going to start a 3-game series tonight at 8:10 against them. And it's a Paul Skeens day. Let's go. For more, go to 937thefan.com. And now here's Dorn.
Trust is key in my life. And let me tell you about something that I'd absolutely trust to sell my home, and that's a Gina GM Petro. You'll have a 5-star experience when you sell your home with Gina. Jennifer recently contacted Gina to sell her home in Scott Township and said that not only did Gina do an outstanding job in selling her home, Gina was also very courteous, professional, and stayed in communication with her throughout the entire sale. Gina was able to get an offer that was over $250,000 for Jennifer's home, and Jennifer was thrilled with the results and how easy it was to sell her home with Gina. Gina will sit down with you. You agree on a price. You agree on a deadline. If the deadline passes and the home isn't sold, she'll have it bought and turned into a rental. She also offers a no-obligation guarantee. If she doesn't do her job at any point, you're free to get out of the contract. Pull out your phone, give Gina a call, 724-602-9752, or Google Gina GM Petro of RE/MAX Select Realty, and look up GinaWillSellYourHome.com. That's GinaWillSellYourHome.com.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Elizabethboro, crews checking reports of an accident now. This is at the intersection of Route 51 Hayden Boulevard at the Elizabeth Bridge on the southern end of the span. So watch for delays there. Parkway West, you're jammed near the top of Green Tree Hill to the Fort Pitt Tunnels. Parkway East getting in line right around the Forest Hills on-ramp to the Squirrel Hill Tunnels, while Route 28 heavy between the 31st Street Bridge and the East Ohio Street off-ramp. From the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, I'm Greg McAtee on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. The Odyssey app lets you jump back in time to the moments you missed on The Fan. Whether it's the Fan Morning Show, the Joe Starkey Show, or the PM Team, you can get caught up on all of it. When you're listening to The Fan, it's as simple as one click to listen on demand. Miss a great moment, great guest? We've got you covered. Download the free Odyssey app, search 93.7 The Fan, and tap earlier today to get started. It's the perfect way to catch up on what's happening from Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
I'm John Morgan. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately, 24/7. Our investigators, legal staff, and over 900 lawyers work together to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. Insurance companies know who we are, and now you know it too. This firm was built for greatness. This firm was built for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. Morgan & Morgan, official personal injury lawyers of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Are you suffering from neck or back pain caused by a bulging, herniated, or degenerative disc? Is the pain making your daily activities more difficult? Is the pain keeping you from doing the things that you enjoy most in your life? Hi, I'm Dr. Rafferty from the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh. Call our office today for a complimentary MRI evaluation or go to PittsburghDiscInstitute.com. That's 412-906-9600. 412-906-9600.
You're ready to ask her to marry you, and you want it to be perfect. So don't let a chain store salesperson rush you into something that may not be right. Hi, this is Joe Urbanowitz, the jeweler, asking, why not make it easy and visit a family-owned independent jeweler? At Urbanowitz Jewelers, our experts will guide you through the ring buying process and take our time to make your engagement ring the perfect memory with either a designer ring or a custom design, all at an affordable price. Visit us today at Casti Village or Peters Township or online at PittsburghDiamonds.com.
Leases 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. $29.99 due at signing. Must qualify HMFC Tier 1 through 2 plus tax acquisition fee, title plates, and dealer dock fee. And stock units only. Offer ends 7/31/24.
Take advantage of huge summer savings at Mike Camlin Hyundai. Drive the new 2024 Hyundai Elantra SEL for just $199 a month, or the new 2024 Tucson SC FWD for only $259 a month. MikeCamlinHyundai.com. All Mike Camlin Hyundais are backed by Owner Assurance, America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, and the Mike Camlin Advantage oil changes for life.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, my son's teacher emailed his back-to-school list. He needs crayons and a comp book for every subject.
Okay, no problem. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school.
Oh, now they're saying he needs folders and glue.
You got it.
And markers?
Of course.
Oh, geez.
Can we get a card, please?
Save big on back to school with Staples Hot Deals. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are only 50 cents each at Staples. Ends 8/24, in-store only, limit 10.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The text line is brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a law firm helping injured people.
I got a real good show for you. This is the Fan Morning Show.
Listen, please.
Presented by Guardian Protection. Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
50-minute mark on a Fan, brought to you by South Hills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Route 19 in Peters Township. Celebrating 50 years in the South Hills. Mark Kaboly from Steelers camp. He's going to join us coming up in about 10 minutes. We'll let you know what's going on the Grand in Latrobe with Kaboly coming up at 8 o'clock. Steelers announced 4 new members of the Hall of Honor. They'll be inducted officially during the season. Dick LeBeau, Jason Gilden, Willie Parker, and Casey Hampton. Casey Hampton now looks like half of himself.
Yes, he does.
All deserving guys. One player I feel like they passed over here was Joey Porter. Joey Porter, who was instrumental in the 05 team winning the Super Bowl, and what he did in particular against the Colts in that divisional round game. I can quibble with him or Jason Gilden.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gilden left as the Steelers' all-time sack leader, so I guess tie goes to that statistic. But I think they got all 4 guys right.
Absolutely.
Anything stick out to you with that?
Just how important and an unsung hero Casey Hampton really is. If you go back, and those defensive lines, and the reason why the linebackers and the Farriers of the world and the Foots of the world, the reason why that they were able to do the things they did was because Casey Hampton was so big and was so strong and clogged up those gaps. Like, guys like him never get the praise. But if you go back and actually watch the games, in time, you see how they are so instrumental to success. And he was to a lot of the Steelers' success. Casey Hampton was.
Underrated?
Very, very underrated.
Maybe the most underrated.
I mean, the guy was a dog.
5
game in,
Pro
game
Bowls?
out. Yes.
I remember they played.
We never talk about him.
This would have been before your time, right? With Arian Foster?
No, I was there with Arian.
When the whole outside zone Kubiak deal went on.
Yeah.
And the Steelers defense, you couldn't run on them.
Mm-hmm.
You could not. And I remember a game in Houston. I don't know if you might have been there.
I think so, yeah.
And Casey's just getting his legs cut and cut and cut and cut. And I went, okay, it's over. It's over. But back when you would play the 3-4 a lot, not just 20% of the time or whatever it is now. He was as good at that as anybody ever. I mean, ever. I mean, he was so good. And the counting stats were never there for Casey Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had 9 sacks in his entire career because that's just not what he was asked to do.
Right.
But you had to double team him on every single play. Absolutely underrated. And I'm happy to see Willie Parker got in. I heard Jeff Hathorn do a show this weekend, and he was talking to former Steelers GM Kevin Colbert about Willie Parker. And the front office was really nonplussed on Willie. And scout Dan Rooney came in and said, I saw this guy in high school. I know he was not great in college. He had a bunch of fumbling problems. He can play. And he really went to bat for Willie Parker. And the rest is history. He has the 75-yard run in the Super Bowl and has an all-time place in Steelers lore. He had a great career.
Yeah.
Albeit not a super long one. He had a great career.
Yeah, during his time, great career. And I knew somebody that knew Willie Parker when I was in high school, and they gave Willie Parker my number, and he would reach out to me all the time, like in high school. Like, think about being like 17 years old and being in Pittsburgh and being a running back, and then Willie Parker's the running back. Like, he would reach out to me all the time just to say what's up and see how.
Really?
All the time. And I was like, I mean, as a kid, you know how awesome that was to me, like every day, like to walk into high school and Willie Parker shows up on your phone, and then he does what he does. That was my senior year, does what he does in the Super Bowl. I'm like that's motivation for me. Like, I mean, every day. And he was so gracious. He didn't have to do that. He didn't even know me.
Man, I heard great things about Willie.
Yes.
The guy. Like, great things about Willie. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That
All
is
the time.
super cool.
All the time. Like, out of nowhere, too. Like, he would initiate the conversation. Like, I wouldn't hit him up like, hey, Willie, what's up? How's it going? Like, no, he'd ask me that.
Man.
Yes.
And that's a great guy to do that because he split carries with 2 other guys at Carolina at the end. Goes undrafted. And then for 3 years with the Steelers was as good as it gets. He had 1,200 yards, 1,494, 1,316. He had 13 touchdowns in 2006. Fast Willie. I'll never forget that 05 Colts game that I brought up already. And I was watching at my aunt and uncle's house, and my one uncle kept singing that song, Little Willie, Willie won't go home. And they did. He was the original run the wheels off him guy. And I remember him breaking his leg in that game against St. Louis.
Yeah.
The same night Levance Fields hit that shot against Duke at the Garden.
Right.
And he broke his leg, and that was pretty much it for Willie. But for those 3 years, man, he was really, really good.
Yes, he was.
And you think about 05. You hand it to the bus, and you hand it to Willie.
Thunder and lightning. Like, legit, thunder and lightning.
You can't come up with 2 players playing the same position that look any different and play any different than those 2.
And then, obviously, Dick LeBeau. And, you know, he was D coordinator when I was in Tennessee. So, and, like, you would never know. Like, he was the nicest human being I've ever, like, met in football in my life. Like, you would never know he was as successful as he is.
As a player and as a coordinator.
As a player, as a coordinator, and as a person. Like, he was just unbelievable to be around. I mean, I think I don't even have to go any farther because I think people know how important Dick LeBeau is to the success of the franchise of the Steelers.
The quintessential would run through a wall for that guy.
Absolutely.
You hear anybody on those 05-08 defenses talk about Dick LeBeau, they're talking about family.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Not only those Steelers defenses were a cheat code, man, because you had the Aaron Smiths and the Casey Hamptons of the world and Brett Kiesel, and you
Think
had
about how big those
great edge rushers. Oh, my God. That's back when you were allowed to play defense.
Right.
And not only did they have really good players at just about every position, and then they had the best guy calling defensive plays in the league. One of the best ever. So, well, they're talented, but at least their scheme sucked. No. They had it both. And that 08 defense, I don't think, gets enough credit for being one of the best of all time. You hear it, the 85 Bears. You hear about the 2000 Baltimore Ravens defense. You hear about the no-fly zone in Seattle, about what Denver's defense did in 2015. The Steelers of the 70s, the Purple People Eaters with Minnesota. That Steelers 08 defense is one of the great defenses of all time.
Yeah.
First in points allowed, first in pass defense, second in rush defense, and then they took the ball away more than any team in football. That defense was bonkers good. And Dick LeBeau had a ton, clearly, to do with that. We got Mark Caboli joining us next on the Fan Hotline, presented by Sullivan Super Service, Pittsburgh trusted plumbing and HVAC provider for over 50 years. He'll give us a training camp report. That's next. We'll get more into the Pirates at the trade deadline a little bit later on in the show. Right now, fan weather brought to you by Sun Chevrolet. It's the Chevy Summer Drive at Sun Chevrolet, up to $7,500 in rebates. Terms and conditions at sunchevy.com. Today, high 87.
Your hometown building partner since 1956. 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Sharing with roommates is hard. Like sharing a thin wall with a wannabe music major. But you know what's easy to share? Xfinity Internet. Get fast, reliable internet that's powerful enough for all your roommates to be online at the same time. That means while your roommate streams trumpet tutorials, you can put your headphones on and play your favorite video games. With the volume turned up, of course. Like, way up. Get a special student offer on Xfinity Internet for just $25 a month for 1 year. Plus, there's no annual contract, which means you're not locked in if you move out next year. What's even better, you'll also get Wi-Fi equipment and a free self-install kit included. To learn more, go to Xfinity.com/student, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. New off-campus students with qualifying Xfinity Internet.
When the black and gold are up the road, we get excited. Smale Kia's proud to sponsor the Pittsburgh Training Camp live on the Fan 93.7. And during our summer savings event, look for the tags and look for clearly marked prices. Plus low and no APR financing on Kia Sportage, Sorento, and select EVs. Go to SmaleKia.com. 1.9% APR up to 48 months, $21.65 a month per 1,000 financed at 48 months through KFA with approved credit. Not all will qualify. See Smale Kia for details. Take delivery by 9/3/24.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets plus 50 spins when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus, must be present in Pennsylvania. New customers only. $10 minimum deposit required. Returns exclude bonus bet wager. Time limits, restrictions, and T's and C's apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Injured? Call the expert personal injury attorneys at Shenderovich, and Fishman. They handle all types of injury cases. Their fee? Only 25%, not 40% like some other firms. They're smart, they're aggressive, they're experienced. They have a 99.7% success rate. That means they win. Car accidents, motorcycle wrecks, tractor-trailer crashes, dog bites, any accidents, only 25%. Shenderovich, and Fishman. 888-98-TWINS. They got your back, not your wallet.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
93.7 The Fan. Built by Window Nation. Call 866-90Nation.
Tell them Colin Dunlap sent you.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Crews on the scene of an accident on northbound Route 51 Hayden Boulevard at the ramps to the Elizabeth Bridge on the southern end of the span, and it's causing delays on northbound 51 back to Weigels Hill Road. Meanwhile, the Parkway West, you're jammed at the top of Green Tree Hill to the Fort Pitt Tunnels. Parkway East stacking at the Wilkinsburg off-ramp. Of course, that's now closed, so you'll have to detour. On the inbound side of Route 28, you're heavy at the Route 8 at the bypass past Shaler Waterworks with another delay at the 40th Street Bridge. From the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA, I'm Greg McEntee on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Folds of Honor has been meeting Sacrifice with Hope since 2019 in Western PA. It's their honor to empower people through education and the opportunities it creates. 41% of Folds of Honor scholarships are awarded to minorities, making recipient families as diverse as the country we call home. Folds of Honor has earned the Gold Star Platinum Seal, as well as 4 out of 4-star rankings on Charity Navigator. You can join their squadron today at westernpa.foldsofhonor.org. Please donate today. Spitzer Toyota of Monroeville is a proud supporter of Folds of Honor.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey Sports Station, live from the ShorkeyMitsubishi.com studios. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
Welcome to our special show. Let's go get him.
This is the Fan Morning Show with Doran Dickerson and Adam Crowley.
Yeah.
Presented by Guardian Protection, Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
The Fan Morning Show is brought to you by Guardian Protection, and we are joined right now on the Fan Hotline, presented by Sullivan Super Service, providing trusted plumbing and HVAC service for over 50 years, by our Steelers insider from The Athletic, Mark Kaboly. Good morning, Mark. How are you, big guy?
Wow, Crowley, you're a little bit too hyper for this early in the
I'm
morning.
a little rusty, too. A little rusty here. Kaboly last night said, you're finally working again. I am.
That's what I've been wondering, too, Kaboly.
Listen, it's a load management season. I got paternity leave. Of course I'm going to use it.
Yeah. I see where your loyalty is. Not the Doran.
Definitely not to Callis either.
Well, definitely not to Callis, no. So I am back. Will Russell Wilson be back and participating tomorrow in the first day of pads, Mark?
I think so. I mean, worst case scenario being a limited capacity. I think this was the plan all along once he was forced to hit a blocking sled for some odd reason and tweaked his calf muscle. I think they pointed to this day on Tuesday as always the day. I mean, I'm not quite sure it will get the full workload, but I'm pretty sure he'll be out there. I mean, he's been working out there for the past couple of days. I mean, he snuck onto the field with some players, Najee and Jalen Warren, on, I believe it was Friday evening, to practice a little bit. So I don't think it's anything serious. And hey, it's OTA number 14 is over, I guess. It's time to really ramp this up a little bit. So I think this was once that happened, I think this was the whole plan in the first place, to get him out here at some point this week, probably Tuesday.
Mark, first and foremost, what is your evaluation of Justin Fields so far? And second, could Justin Fields have a real opportunity to compete for the starting job?
I don't think so. I mean, unless this drags on a little bit more injury related. That's the whole caveat of this whole thing when we brought it in. I mean, if Russell Wilson does not get injured, I think obviously I think the snaps will go down. I don't think he still has that chance if it's just Russell Wilson coming in and you're looking at a guy who's going to outperform him. I just don't see that right now. I mean, Justin Fields has been getting better. I mean, the consistency is still lacking. He'll make some good throws and make some bad throws. I think they're really, really focusing on him for the most part, staying in the pocket. He's not really using the legs. I don't think they want him to use the legs to be able to learn here and get a little bit better at throwing the ball and being more consistent with his reads and more accurate with his reads. I'm not saying he hasn't gotten better. He has from the day one, but I just don't see it happening right now unless this drags on. Let's say Russell Wilson comes out Tuesday and that little twinge turns into a little bit more, then all of a sudden maybe the game's changed, but I don't view that happening at this point.
Mark Cabali joining us here on the Fan Morning Show. Much ado about nothing, this whole Zach Azzanni, George Pickens thing?
Well, right now, maybe. Yeah, I mean, Zach Azzanni is a madman, you know. He's out there with his gloves on and hitting sleds and hitting people. I mean, sure, those two got into a little spat the other day, but I believe it was Saturday. He went over and gave George a big hug after George caused a penalty on Joey Porter Jr., I believe, that would have resulted in a first down. He's just a very emotional guy. Right now, it's not a big deal, but I always worry, and you see what's that word I'm looking for? The chance of him being explosive in his personality. I'm talking about George Pickens. If things don't go his way, and if that happens here more and more, where he doesn't get the ball and the balls are not thrown properly to him, and there's missed opportunities to him, then he is going to react. Then Zach is on. He's going to react to that. So there's always that thought of, it could be volatile coming up if things. I'm going to put it this way: this is not going to be the last time this happens. But hey, you give him some tough love, you bicker back and forth, and you just move on. If that's the case, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mark, which rookie has been most impressive to you?
Well, I mean, Roman Wilson was pretty good the other day. 2 days ago, he was really good out there. It's tough because, like I always say, there's a lot of young guys on the offensive line are just, you know, for the lack of better terms, going through the motions right now. I mean, you really haven't noticed Zach Frazier much at all, other than, you know, running laps after being called for a pre-snap penalty or something like that. But that will change on Tuesday. The pads come on. All of a sudden, the one-on-one drills start to hit. Then you'll be able to see where those guys are. And you got 3 of their first, 5 picks for offensive linemen or potential offense. I mean, for Frazier and Latano and McCormick. So we'll see more of that right now. But you'd have to say Roman Wilson, especially at that position, to be able to at least stand out in that a number of wide receivers. They got a dozen wide receivers, and you have guys like Kyle Allen throwing him the ball. For him to stand out in a couple practices has been pretty impressive.
Mark Cabali joining us here on the Fan Morning Show. Talk corner to me, Mark. How's it looking beyond Joey Porter?
Well, Joey, first of all, we can't just skip over Joey Porter. I think he's going to be a star. I mean, we're looking easy top 10 in the league, in my opinion. Might be able to push it to a little bit higher than that this year. And that's, if you look at that cornerback position in the NFL, it's pretty loaded with talented players. That's, I think, how good Joey Porter has been, will be, and will continue to get. I mean, Dante Jackson, what you can see from him right now, I mean, he looks like a pretty solid number 2 guy, you know. They've been putting him on George Pickens a lot, and he's been holding his own. There's no glaring issues you've seen from him yet, where early last year when you saw Patrick Peterson, you're like, oh, geez, he's not that quick anymore. He's not that fast anymore. You don't see that from Dante Jackson in this type of setting so far. So I think that's been a little bit of a quiet positive of a guy that you're not going to really have to worry about right now. Maybe if somebody gets injured and whatever, you have to move some guys around, but you can see why the Steelers went after him. I think he's going to be a solid calming force at that number 2 position. So as of right now, I think he's looking pretty good too.
Mark, from everything that you've watched the past couple of days, can you see this receiving core panning out this year without adding anybody?
I think it might have to.
Do you think that they have enough? I mean, from the reps that you've seen,
it's going to have to be a collective effort. You know, so we're going to have to put the onus back on guys like Zach Azzanni and especially Arthur Smith to be able to get the right guys in the right situation. It's just not going to be your run-of-the-mill, okay, it's our number 2 guy. It's just not going to happen. I mean, you're going to see Freiermuth obviously having a tremendous camp, picked up where he left off at in OTAs. He's going to have to contribute big numbers. then you're going to have Roman Wilson have a game or two. You're going to have Van Jefferson in there. You're going to have Calvin Austin have a couple series or a couple games. I think it's going to be by committee as that number 2 stat-wise. So is that enough? I don't know if that's enough to keep George Pickens free and happy, but you're going to have a Arthur Smith who's quite different in his scheming and his play calling than the previous guy, and get George Pickens into single man coverage by different formations and motions. That's going to be a key right now. But I think if you put it to that position of one guy being that guy, you're going to say, okay, it's going to be Marquez Callaway. Nah, that's just not going to happen. I think it's just going to be a group effort.
Mark, last thing here for you. You talk about Arthur Smith there, and what I wanted to hear or read or observe when I'm there is a night and day difference between last year's organization, last year's schematics, and this year's. I realize it's basically an extension of OTAs and minicamp right now, but are you seeing more work with a purpose? Are you seeing differences? Are you seeing, for lack of a better way of putting it, an NFL offense?
A plan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see the plan going forward. He at least knows what he wants to do. And, a key to this, too, is play calling game day type of situation. So that's not an easy thing. I mean, just to be able to get into a groove as a play caller, too, and knowing what you want to do and how you want to attack the other team rather than run your same, 6 or 7 plays. And you see that from Arthur Smith, and he does hold these guys more accountable. Well, not only him, the entire coaching staff seems much more disciplined than the previous people that were in there. So, like I said, so far so good, but he comes out there first game against Buffalo and throws some questionable play calls out there that you hear that may have came from one of his times in Atlanta and Tennessee. It's like, okay, then we have a little bit of an issue. But when you're comparing him to Matt Canada, yeah, night and day. It's like major leagues versus single A ball. It's a little bit different.
Mark, we had to go 15 minutes with you for you to say anything worthwhile, but we appreciate you finishing on the crescendo there.
Hey, beers for buckos, right?
See you, Mark.
See you, Mark.
Mark said he didn't want to join us on the video feed because he just woke up. And while I do love Mark Cabali, he always looks like he just woke up.
And he sounded like it, too.
He sure did. A little rambly there for Mark.
Yeah. Can I interject for just a second?
Mm-hmm.
You see how Crowley fires shots at anybody?
Mm-hmm.
When have you heard me ever do that?
See, but now you know it's not just a you thing, Callis. It
That
means
is
that
true.
you're one. He's one of my favorite people.
So you just admitted you're a bad person.
To you, yeah, sometimes, sure. I think
And
people
Mark.
will acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And Mark. And
Yeah.
the people I'm closest to, frankly.
Except for Doran.
Yeah, because he'd beat my ass into a pulp.
Me, Neil, and Wayner, he doesn't do that to.
Mm-hmm. You can tweet me and Doran and Callis if you're so inclined. Brought to you by South Hills Kia in Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net. You can text us. Brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a personal injury law firm where they always say there's never a fee unless we get money for you. Nothing going right now on the trade deadline. I've been refreshing my feed, so nothing to report there, but we will get into it. Neil Walker joining us at 9. We've got Dan Zangrilli at 9:35. But up next, we react to some of what Mark Caboli had to say. First, it's a Callis fan headline.
Now, fan headlines, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville. Now open.
Pirates play tonight against the Houston Astros after losing 2 of 3 to the Arizona Diamondbacks in Arizona. It'll be the final series before they come back home and play the Diamondbacks. If you want to listen to the game, you can right here on 93.7 The Fan. Our coverage begins at 7:15 with the North Shore Tavern leadoff show hosted by Dan Zangrilli. And it's a Paul Skeens day. Let's go. For more, go to 937thefan.com. And now, here's Doran.
Dunkin's dropping a new kind of energy. Introducing Sparked Energy by Dunkin'. It's energy for the fun of it. Available in 2 full-on delicious flavors. Berry Burst and Peach Sunshine. It's what you need when your afternoon needs you to get going.
That's right, Doran. A revitalizing burst of caffeine, vitamins, and minerals gives you the energy to turn the fun up to 11. You can order ahead on the Dunkin' app. Get a medium Sparked Energy for $3. Price of participation may vary. America runs on Dunkin'.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And when you join My Lowe's Rewards for free, the savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers, plus earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards, just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards and become a member for free today. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Aviation technicians are considered some of the most skilled and technically capable mechanics in their field. They ensure our most precious cargo, from family to goods, arrives safely every day. Whether you're thinking about a skilled trade or a 4-year education, if you enjoy combining problem solving with hands-on training, then explore an in-demand career in the aviation industry. Visit PIA's Pittsburgh Campus Open House on Saturday, August 10th at 11 a.m. Take pride in your career. RSVP at pia.edu.
At twomeninajunktruck.com, you can even book same day or next day. Then we arrive, we quote, "You like the price?" Yes! We haul it away. Yeah, it's that easy. We'll even whistle while we work. 2 men in a junk truck.
At Lowe's, save big every day. Right now, get a free pneumatic nailer when you buy a pallet of Metabo HPT nails. And there's more. Save 10% on select shingles when you buy in bulk. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
DQ presents... Picture this. Picture the DQ $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Not just a cheeseburger, a bacon cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. All full-sized, all for $7. Because everything's better with bacon. Everything's also better with a side of fries, a refreshing drink, and a sundae to finish. Yum. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Now for a limited time on the $7 meal deal lineup. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Halftime means back-to-school shopping time at Target. Get your phones out, dads. We're saving 30% off.
Wow, look at this. Backpacks, clothes, shoes, at 30% off.
There's the pizza backpack my kid wants. Add to cart.
Oh, my daughter's gonna love this heart tee. Better grab some leggings, too.
Even notebooks, folders, pencils.
And glue sticks and crayons? All at 30% off this week only.
My sideline shopping game is strong.
When it comes to getting 30% off, Target has your back to school.
Protect your home from water damage and eliminate water woes with Gutter Helmet. GutterHelmet.com.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. This season in the NFL, it will actually be legal for teams to have 12 men on the field in certain circumstances. When you ask? In windy weather, teams can bring in an extra player to hold for kickoffs, but he cannot otherwise participate in the play. I'm Boomer Esiason.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And when you join My Lowe's Rewards for free, the savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers, plus earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards, just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards and become a member for free today. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Heading out of Murraysville, Westmoreland County, crews on the scene of an accident tying up westbound Route 22 at the ramp from Route 286. That's the Golden Mile Highway. It's now causing delays on that westbound side back before Sardis Road. Meanwhile, we do have an earlier accident in the final stages of clearing. This is on Route 51, Hayden Boulevard, near the Elizabeth Bridge. Also on the Parkway East, your delays now at Edgewood Twistvale, Parkway West over the top of Green Tree Hill. From the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, I'm Greg McAtee on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills.
More on the trade deadline coming up in about 10 minutes here. We've got Neil Walker at 9. We've got Dan Zangrilli at 9:35. So far, no moves made this morning in Major League Baseball. Should any happen, we will, of course, bring them to you. We had Mark Caboli live from Latrobe in the last segment, and he said that the difference between the Matt Canada Steelers offense and the Arthur Smith Steelers offense is night and day, and then took it a step further, calling one a major league offense compared to a single A offense. Now, for me, it's not just good enough to be better than that guy. You can't just come in and go, we all go, oh, this is great. Arthur Smith is so much better than Matt Canada. Just the same way I don't look at Russell Wilson or Justin Fields and say, oh, they just need to be better than Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky. No, if this team is going to do anything, it can't just be an upgrade over what they have. Arthur Smith needs to coordinate a good offense. Russell Wilson needs to be a good quarterback. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it depends on what the standard is. Is the standard just trying to make it to the playoffs? Is the standard trying to win AFC championships? Is the standard trying to make it to the Super Bowl? Is it the standard trying to win a Super Bowl? And I would think that every single team in the NFL, all 32 teams right now, their goal is to what?
Win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. So
Carolina, sorry. Arizona, sorry.
But your thought is hey, we're going to go after it this year, right? So if you're that's your approach, and it can't be, hey, you got to be better than the last guy. It's got to be, you have to be one of the best in the league. And Arthur Smith has a tough job this year because he's dealing with a receiving core that we just talked to Mark about. That's going to take a unit to make that production. It's not going to take one guy. It can't just take two guys because they don't have that guy. So you're going to have to get creative. You have to get creative on the offensive line. You have some young players there. You have your stable of running backs, and you have to learn how to use them in certain situations, in the right situations. See, the thing about offense is it's one thing to know the offense as a player and as an offensive coordinator to teach the offense. But then the next step is teaching and learning and executing how to attack a defense. Like, all right, I know the offense. You call the play in the huddle, I'll go out there, I'll run my route. But why am I running it? See, that's where they have to be next week. Like, in their NFL players, they know defenses, things of that nature, but the defensive things and the way to attack them within this offense, you have to learn that. And if you can do that, you could play, all 11 football, and you can win. You can win. You don't have to have superstars. But if you learn and know what you're doing, and Arthur Smith has a tough job of teaching that and why they're doing things, then they could be okay. Could be pretty good.
I think if they're just better than what Matt Canada provided, that they can be a playoff team. I know the schedule's hard, believe me. But we saw it in the final few games last season when Mason Rudolph got in there and Matt Canada wasn't calling the plays. They were pretty good. And I think that could get you to double-digit wins or right on the cusp. If you are going to be an AFC North contender, if you are going to be a contender to win games come January, you got to score. You got to score. And not turning the ball over, that's cute, and it's important. I understand that. You can't be a scared offense. And that's what I thought they were last year. Like, they didn't let Kenny sling it in his first year. I think that was a huge mistake. Let him sling it. Let him learn from his mistakes. Let him throw it all over the place. And if you win, whoa, great. If you lose, so be it. Let him develop. That's what happens with a lot of young quarterbacks. They come into bad teams most of the time when you're a rookie quarterback, and you learn through failure. They wanted to try to handcuff Kenny to win games. They go 9-8. They just missed the playoffs. Then they handcuffed Kenny last year. And what happens? No development. I want to see this year's team try to score some points.
Yeah.
Try to score some points.
Take the game. Dictate the game.
Yes, dictate
the
the game.
Take the game to the defense.
Yes.
You have to. And I mean, just look around. I mean, I know that Miami isn't a team that is thought about of being a playoff, caliber, going through the playoffs, gauntlet type team that, may make it to a Super Bowl. But throughout the year, like they're high powered and they take it to defenses. They take it to teams. Everybody is low key scared of Miami, but
they could put 70 on your ass.
Exactly.
The Steelers, I guess what I was trying to say, and I could pick up on you understanding my rambling there as I'm working my way back out of my load management here. You need to try to win games on offense.
Yes.
Instead of saying, don't screw it up, we're running the ball and we're playing defense. That can get you so far.
Right.
But only so far. And that's what we saw last year. And then even at the end of the season, the defense was ravaged by injuries. You can't go into the season thinking, okay, we've got an incremental upgrade on our offense. We know we've got a quarterback that on third downs and in the red zone can make plays. You need to go into games knowing we got Kansas City on Christmas. We got the Philadelphia Eagles this year. We got a lot of great offenses on our schedule. Mike Tomlin, back when they had Ben, and I know that Russ ain't Ben, but I remember that game against the Colts where Ben threw 6 touchdowns. And I remember Mike Tomlin's postgame. We knew we had to keep scoring. We went into the game knowing we have to score points to win. I would like them to get to a point where every week you're game planning saying, we need to score 25, 28
not just one specific game that's game plan specific towards a team that they know has firepower. No, like do that against Cleveland.
Right.
Do that against everybody.
Complimentary football can be a compliment, but sometimes I look at that and go, well, complimentary football. Go out there and try to score a bunch of points and then play with the lead and let your defense with TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith and Patrick Queen and Cam Hayward rush the damn passer and close the game out. You could use your defense for that too. So just to hear, it's night and day different than Canada's, great. Be nice if they're a good offense this year. All right, we worked through it.
Yeah, it's good.
The wheels were spinning early.
It's great.
Coming up next, Pirates made a move yesterday. Does it mean something for today or tomorrow? We'll talk about that coming up next. But first, it's a Nicholas Harry Callis fan headline.
Now, fan headlines, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville, now open.
Pirates play tonight against the Houston Astros in the first game of 3 in the series. Game time 8:10. If you want to listen, you can right here on 93.7 The Fan. Our coverage begins at 7:15, and our coverage is presented by Pella Windows. Excuse me, I just got hit with an EAS alert. But it's Paul Skeens pitching for the Pirates and Jake Bluss pitching for the Houston Astros. For more fan headlines, go to 937thefan.com.
Best place to bet the games this summer is FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sports book. Because right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Then you can bet on all your favorite international teams and all your favorite sports, from basketball to badminton and soccer and swimming. FanDuel has it all. So don't miss your chance to score $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Visit FanDuel.com/Andrew to sign up and start betting the games today. Make every moment more with FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of KDKA. 21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is knowledgeable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
High five. Up top. Heck yeah! Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep. Dave's feeling it, but it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business, powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Ends 8/21/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Are you struggling with bad feet? Here at the Good Feet store, we hear a lot about foot pain, but we also hear about back, knee, and hip pain. I'd like you to hear what Kelsey, a kinesiologist, has to say about the Good Feet arch support system.
As an exercise specialist, I've seen all kinds of things that people try to put in their shoes to get out of pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that they support all 4 arches in the foot.
So did you know you had 4 arches in each foot? Most shoes and inserts only support 1. Maybe that's the reason all the remedies you've tried in the past just didn't work.
When the foot's placed in the ideal position, everything else up the kinetic chain works better. You have better balance, more energy. You're going to feel better. Being able to move freely and out of pain means everything to me. And good movement starts with the feet.
Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, in Morgantown at Suncrest Town Center, or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Come in for a free test walk today.
Okay, the hot summer months. You got to get to Schultz Ford and get that great deal. Schultz Ford Wexford, Schultz Ford Harmer, Schultz Ford South in West Mifflin, Schultz Ford in Wheeling. And how about always online at schultzford.com? They have a gigantic selection of inventory, everything that you want for this summer. Hey, how about a Bronco? Take the top off, cruise around. Mustang, convertible, great summer car too. And maybe you're going to the beach. What about an Explorer? That gets it done for you. Great family car to, get all the way down to the beach and back. So again, those great locations and always online at schultzford.com. The customer service cannot be beaten. You go into Schultz Ford, you are treated like family all the time at all the locations. Again, Schultz Ford Wexford, Schultz Ford Harmer, Schultz Ford South in West Mifflin, now in Wheeling as well. And check it out online, too, schultzford.com.
For more than 70 years, business owners, facility directors, and loss prevention managers have entrusted the security of their property and their employees to Guardian Protection. If your business needs access control, surveillance cameras, intrusion detection, or a fire alarm system, rely on Guardian, Pittsburgh's hometown security expert. For a no-charge security evaluation of your business, visit guardianprotection.com/fanbiz. That's guardianprotection.com/FANBIZ.
Join us Saturday, August 3rd, after the Pirates take on the Arizona Diamondbacks at 6:40 for a post-game kids drone show thanks to AHN. This unique drone show will feature an original pirate story that'll come to life through illustrations and a sky full of drones over PNC Park. It's a show for the kids in all of us. It's the Pirates and Diamondbacks, Saturday, August 3rd at PNC Park. Get your tickets and learn more at pirates.com/drone show.
Back to more of the Fan Morning Show.
In the morning, y'all.
With Doran Dickerson and Adam Crowley.
So let's get rolling.
Presented by Guardian Protection on Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
Jack Sawinski gets optioned to AAA yesterday, and a lot of people on the social Doran, oh, what does this mean? They're making room for another outfielder. They're going to bring someone in. Well, I think it's pretty clear that we're going to see Brian Reynolds on the team today.
Right.
He's coming back from the bereavement list. That's the corresponding move. We've actually seen some nice things out of Ji-Hwan Bae.
Right.
And they probably see more value in Ji-Hwan Bae being on the team right now than the horrifically slumping Jack Sawinski. So when I said going to break, the Pirates made a move, and it might mean there's other moves to come. It's not because they were trying to create space for another move, I don't think. But follow me here for a second. Ben Cherington, Bob Nutting, Derek Shelton, those who cover the team, have all said, yes, the Pirates could and maybe will make moves. But the biggest moves are going to have to be the internal improvement. Well, the poster child for that was Jack Sawinski. So when they talk about internal improvement, the one guy I had earmarked for internal improvement was Jack Sawinski, who had 26 homers last year, who maybe should have made the All-Star game for how hot he was, OPS up over 800 going into the All-Star break. Well, they're waving the white flag on his improvement this year. He is not going to help the team, at least not in the short term. And so I do wonder if you give up on the potential of his power, if that might signal something is getting close someplace else.
Or they're preparing for that. I mean, that doesn't mean it'll actually go down. I think that's what you're saying. Like, they are going to create a spot for it in a different world. I don't know. Like, maybe not. Or maybe they're just like, we just don't need that in the lineup. And we feel better with somebody else.
Yeah, and it might be the internal improvement is
G1 Bay.
We just have a better player available to us than Jack Sawinski, and his name is G1 Bay.
Right.
Yeah, I think they gave him a lot of rope. I'm a little bit surprised, knowing what they've said about internal improvement, that they did send him down. They gave Rowdy Tellez forever, and he figured it out to the point where when he got hurt the other day, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? They don't have Brian Reynolds now. They don't have Rowdy Tellez. What are they going to do? That's how important he is to the team. Now, I thought they'd continue to give Jack Sawinski more time. But even the ever-patient Pittsburgh Pirates are now saying, yeah, he ain't got it. And that is a massive disappointment. And so it does make me hope that maybe something is on the horizon. What it also does is make me think about the development or the lack thereof in some of these hitters.
Henry Davis can fall in line with that too.
Yes.
I mean, he's a AAA guy.
They might have screwed Henry Davis up so bad that if floated in the Jazz Chisholm deal, the Yankees didn't want him. Or, excuse me, the Marlins didn't want him. I don't know that he was offered, but the Yankees did send their third best prospect, a catcher, back to the Marlins to get Jazz Chisholm. They might have screwed Henry Davis up so much in throwing him in right field, and now you're doing this, and you're going to be a double-A for this long. And they might have screwed him up so bad that the Marlins, who clearly wanted catching, said, that first overall pick from a couple of years ago, what have you done for me lately? We don't want his ass.
Let's stick with Henry Davis for a second. What do you think the plan was for him this year if Endy Rodriguez didn't get hurt? And do you think that he would be better if he would have stuck with the plan initially in place if Endy didn't get hurt?
Man.
Like, would he have played catcher at all this year?
I think he would have been backup catcher, and they would have played him sometimes in right field and sometimes at DH.
When did they get Grandal?
Pretty late.
Like after Endy? Yeah, after Endy.
Yeah.
Because Endy got hurt like in November.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So Grandal was basically an emergency ad. I think he would have been the second catcher behind Endy, who they have faith defensively in.
Not Delay?
And, I mean, I think Delay's your third catcher.
Okay.
I just think they've handled him terribly.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've done a great job with Skeens. There's a huge developmental success story in Mitch Keller. You're seeing it right now with Luis Ortiz. They seem to have figured it out from a pitching standpoint. But Ke'Bryan Hayes can't hit. I know he got the big hit last night, but it was 70 miles an hour off the bat. Like, that's just that guy needed some luck, and he got some luck. Off the end of the bat, drops in there. He cannot hit.
I felt bad for him. He hit a ground ball when a guy was stealing, and it was a double play. And I mean, that's not his fault. That was solid contact.
What is it? He's hit into 11 double plays this year?
Oh!
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It seems like anytime there's a big spot, he does hit into a double play. And you did have to laugh, if not for crying, that he hit into the one that you're talking about yesterday. They put the runner in motion so that Mr. Double Play doesn't hit into a double play, and it gets the
he hit
middle
it as well as
infielder.
you could on the ground, right up the middle, and it was I was covering.
They're not developing hitters. They're not. Andrew McCutchen is Andrew McCutchen, and you sign him, and he's going to get on base because you can't screw him up. Brian Reynolds is just a good baseball player. Rowdy Tellez, he's got a 700 OPS. He's one of the better hitters on the team. But I look at that Jazz Chisholm deal, and I wonder, I mean, you're kind of caught in between because if he had been hitting, you're probably not going to trade him. And now they might want to trade him, but he was hitting so poorly at the major league level, and he's a frying pan behind the plate where you can't deal him. They're I think tied to Henry Davis now. And I don't know about him in right field. Because last we saw it was bad, and I don't know about him at first base either. Because I don't know how good of a a fielder, he would be there. And I don't know if the bat's going to translate. It's a disaster. A disaster. All right, coming up next, I have a question for the guys here. If you've been paying attention to something, we've got Neil Walker coming up at 9 o'clock. Schedule change. We'll talk to Dan Zangrilli perhaps tomorrow. First, though, it's a Nicholas Harry Callis fan headline.
Now, fan headlines, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville. Now open.
Pirates play tonight against the Houston Astros at 8:10. It's the first game of 3 in the series. Paul Skeens is on the mound for the Pirates, and he goes against Jake Bloss of the Houston Astros. Also, Russell Wilson missed last week because of a calf injury, and he mentioned that he was pushing his sled in workouts. So, for more fan headlines, go to 937thefan.com.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Things a little rough at this stage of the morning rush. This report brought to you by Greenewald Roofing. Crews have cleared an earlier accident reopening westbound Route 22 heading out of Murraysville near the intersection with Route 286. Watch for leftover delays back to McClure Road. Meanwhile, an accident being tended to on the south side tying up Carson Street at the Smithfield Street Bridge. Parkway East, you're lining up at Wilkinsburg. Parkway West delays top of Green Tree Hill and Route 28 heavy between the 40th and 31st Street bridges toward the north side. From the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, I'm Greg McAtee on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Greenewald Roofing, your career, our commitment. Ready to soar in your sales career? Join Greenewald Roofing's growing commission sales team. Enjoy flexibility, top-notch support, and unlimited earning potential. Apply now at greenewaldroofing.com/employment. Greenewald Roofing, your future starts here.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey everyone, this is Bob Pompiani. The red, white, and new celebration at #1 Cochrane Subaru has been such a big hit, they're extending it through July the 31st. They've marked select new vehicles with special tags indicating extra savings of up to $1,000. That's in addition to their already reduced prices. Plus, you'll also find limited time offers like financing from 0% on new 2024 Subaru Outback models. These red, white, and new savings are only available in store, so visit either of the 2 #1 Cochrane Subaru locations in Monroeville and Butler County, or view their inventory online at CochraneSubaru.com and CochraneSubaruButler.com. Maximum amount financed with discount is $20,000. Cost $1,667 per month for 60 months. APR offer is dealers subvented for well-qualified buyers subject to Tier 1 credit approval rating through SMFN 73124.
Hey there, weekend warriors. Chris Muller here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Injured? Call the expert personal injury attorneys at Shenderovich, Fishman. They handle all types of injury cases. Their fee is only 25%, not 40% like other firms. They're smart, aggressive, experienced, and have a 99.7% success rate. So that means they win. Car accidents, 25%. Motorcycle wrecks, 25%. Tractor-trailer crashes, 25%. Dog bites, 25%. Any accident, only 25%. Shenderovich, and Fishman, 888-98-TWINS. They've got your back, not your wallet.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The text line
is brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a law firm helping injured people.
This is the Fan Morning Show.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Presented by Guardian Protection on Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
50-minute mark on the Fan, brought to you by South Hills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 19 in Peters Township, celebrating 50 years in the South Hills. The great Neil Walker going to join us coming up in 10 minutes on that Fan Hotline, presented by Sullivan Super Service, providing trusted plumbing and HVAC service for over 50 years. Real quick, we were talking about the lack of development for hitters under Ben Cherington's tenure. And isn't that all the more reason to go out and trade for a hitter or two who has a proven track record of success that you don't need to tinker with?
Right.
Like, they've done a good job with the pitching. I think that's inarguable. Just look at their pitching staff. But hitting, they have not. You've got a surplus of pitchers. Go get a hitter or two. And if you do, I think you're going to have a chance in this thing. But I think all this is falling on deaf ears, or it's preaching to the choir, I guess is what I'm looking for. I think every single Pirates fan listening to the show right now feels the same way.
Yes.
We were just watching the field hockey at the Olympics. It looks miserable to me. Have you watched any of this?
Never.
Oh, my God. It's like hockey during they play it on a field.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And instead of, you can't use your backhand. You're not illegally allowed to use the back of the stick, so you have to flip the thing over backwards and forwards.
What?
Yeah. So they're like jiggling the stick back and forth, making moves, and it just, you're good for forearm strength, I guess, but it just looks miserable. There's so much of this Olympic stuff, man, that obviously I could never do.
Mm-hmm.
None of it looks fun.
No.
Like swimming, fun, fine, okay. I watched 45 minutes of these people biking through the rain, and when they were done, it looked like every one of them wanted to throw up.
No, half of them fell, too. Did you see that?
Oh.
They were getting crushed.
Oh. Did you see the one woman who wound up winning bronze? One of the last times she raced, she fell under a guardrail, and it sliced her leg.
Oh, my gosh.
And she thought she broke her femur, and I was like, oh, that's nasty. And then they cut to her in the hospital bed, and the gash on her leg, it had to have gone all the way around her leg.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, what these people sign up for, man, it's nuts. Like, field hockey looks miserable. Water polo looks miserable. You're just treading water the whole time. Look at this bike thing they're doing right now. Just biking over rocks.
How many different Olympic events are there?
1 million.
Right?
There's a ton. Fencing, I think, is pretty cool. I wish I would have gotten to fencing back in the day.
You probably would have been a decent fencer.
Why?
Oh. You just look like you have the body for it.
I think as far as like the athleticism it takes to do any of these things, I'd like to take my shot at the fencing. I feel like I might have a chance at that.
Mm-hmm.
Handball, I could probably have done at a low level. You could probably have been on the damn handball Olympic team.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that you think you could do?
Like in my prime?
Yeah.
Basketball. No.
You could have played for like Serbia or something.
Right. South Sudan.
You play for the Lithuanian basketball team. Is he good? Well, he's athletic. All right, that's an upgrade. Here we go.
Yep.
That's fine. I watched the surfing thing too, and I had to turn it off. Not because that guy's butt cheeks were exposed because his swim trunks went down, but I had to turn it off because they're just sitting there in the water, and you got to wait for waves. They're just sitting there. Like half the thing was just, all right.
That's one thing in my life I would probably never attempt to do.
Because of the sharks, right?
Yeah, and I just don't think I can stand up on a surfboard. Like I could never skateboard.
Did you ever do the skimboard? That's a thing you take on the beach and you throw it down and you have to run and you jump on it?
Yeah, I think everybody's done that.
Okay. Well, I mean, you look at me like I'm crazy. Callis, you ever skimboard? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I haven't.
Okay, see, not everybody has done it.
Right, well, no.
You throw the board and then you run and you jump on it.
On your stomach, right?
No. You're thinking of boogie boarding.
Oh, yeah.
Skimboarding is it's like a flat board, and when the waves are like very low, like super shallow, you throw it, you sprint, you jump on it, and you slide it, you skim. That's why they call it a skimboard. But I've seen people take gashes in their shins because the thing gets stuck in the sand or it goes flying off. People run and jump on it, they fall on their backs. Yeah, it's terrible.
I know. Yeah, good.
Yeah, surfing, man. I could never stay on a skateboard.
There's no chance. That's tough.
I saw some of the equestrian thing. I guess I could ride a horse.
Yeah.
Because the horse is the athlete. That's what I don't get. They're really good at sitting there while the horse does amazing
Like,
things.
are they athletes?
Yeah, right. Like, I'm sure being a jockey's not easy, but, like, the horse is the athlete.
Right.
Do you think NASCAR people are athletes?
To me, an athlete is an athletic movement.
I think they're probably more of an athlete than the horse riding people.
Yes.
So I used to think that NASCAR...
Quick twitch.
I used to think it wasn't. And
Reaction time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I saw this program where it was like, you never think about how much it takes, like what focus it takes, and like the physical exertion on your body to control a car and maneuver.
Going 200 miles an hour.
Right. Like it's not something anybody can do, and it does take a toll on you physically, and it takes an intense amount of focus to be good at it.
He said he watched a program on that.
A program, yeah.
My
I don't know what to
grandma.
call it. It wasn't necessarily a documentary. It was just this. It was this thing on Nickelodeon when I was younger. They were trying to convince us of why NASCAR people were athletes, and I'm like, yeah, I buy that. That's true. Not everybody could do that.
What's going on?
I wonder if we didn't interrupt him, how long he would go.
He would have went he would have went 3 minutes.
My grandma died. She was 96. She refers to TV shows as programs and stories. And we got Callis regaling us about Nickelodeon from yesteryear.
Yeah.
And we got Neil Walker coming up next to talk about the trade deadline.
Oh, wait. I got another thing to say. Oh, and I forgot.
Neil Walker going to join us next to talk about the Major League Baseball trade deadline. First, though, fan weather brought to you by Sun Chevrolet. It's the Chevy Summer Drive at Sun Chevrolet, up to $7,500 in rebates. Terms and conditions at sunchevy.com. Today, high 87, low 66.
Your hometown building partner since 1956. 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
He went to doctor after doctor looking for relief and always walked away discouraged. Surgery and drugs hadn't worked before, so why would he try them again? That's when Carmen made an appointment at QC Kinetics.
I'll tell you one thing. I got a spring in my step. The bounce is back in my step. My quality of life improving exponentially since I've been going to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has treated over 35,000 patients like Carmen using their own healing components, concentrating them into damaged knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. No surgery, no drugs.
The pain's gone, quality of life so much better, and mentally I'm in such a better place because I know that I'm not going to wake up to the same old struggles that I have been dealing with every single day. 10 months ago, no joke, I was a prime candidate for a knee replacement. Today, I'm not because of the treatment I'm receiving at QC Kinetics.
Carmen finally got relief, and it was easy, starting with a free consultation at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 412-228-3584. That's 412-228-3584. Located in Robinson, 412-228-3584.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our Greater Pittsburgh Region financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
Homeowners, if your home needs a new roof, call a Platinum Preferred Roofing Contractor. Owens Corning only selects the best 1% of all its dealers, and JP Roofing and Signing has earned that honor. They've accomplished this through hard work and customer satisfaction and offer the best warranty in the business. Homeowners receive $500 off any roof or siding installation. Ask about 100% financing, no payments for 18 months, and free estimates. All that, JP Roofing and Siding. Give them a call at 412-829-7711. That's 829-7711.
Hey, it's Doran Dickerson. The NFL is having players wear Guardian caps all season long and allowing Guardian caps to be worn in games. Have your team practice like the pros and reduce the impact of hits on your kids. You can also enter your team on the 93.7 The Fan contest page all July to win a set of 10 Guardian caps this season. Get bulk team pricing now at GuardianSports.com.
1-800-GOT-JUNK recycles because it conserves our natural resources.
We donate the donatables so they can be loved and used by another family.
Recycling saves us money. The less we take to the landfill, the more we save.
It also saves you money. Spending less on landfills helps keep our prices low.
People love to see a win-win scenario, but we've created a win-win-win-win scenario.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
One person dies from heart disease every 33 seconds. Do everything you can not to be the one. Understanding your risk factors, like your cholesterol, blood pressure, and BMI, could save your life. Our experts at the nationally recognized UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute are here to help you get your heart health on track. Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to schedule an appointment.
93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation. Call 866-90Nation.
Tell them Colin Dunlap sent you.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center,